Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth. Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. What is going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of The Metal Forge. Holy shit, what an awesome week this is. Wow, I turned 40 a couple of days ago. And you know, I've been talking about it on social media for quite a while now, for about the last month or so, that this weekend is crazy times because we're doing the 2 days of 40th birthday party shenanigans and shit. And I usually don't do that. I've played on my birthday before, and, you know, we've had birthday parties at shows before, and it's been fun and stuff. You know, I did one for my my 30th birthday at the Phoenix Hill Tavern, you know, 10 years ago now. Wow. But this week, tonight, at the Mag Bar, the Metal Forge Live presents Rifle. Who is our guest today? Jet Piston and RT Kraken from Rifle are here in the Metal Forge studio, and we're going to be checking in with them in just a few minutes. But also, Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland, his band Temptation's Wings, coming to Louisville for 2 nights on a no-repeat weekend. Hell yes. They are playing at the Mag Bar tonight. At the Metal Forge Live, so be out there by the time you're listening to this. Hopefully you haven't missed it yet. And they're also playing at Losers 812 for One Wild Night 3 Uncompromised with Wild Ride, Overload, I wonder who those guys are, American Bombshell, and of course Temptation's Wings. And also tonight, Halfcaster, Todd from Overload, his other band where he plays drums in. You know, he used to play drums in Overload, but now he plays guitar. So they're all playing tonight. And then again, Wild Ride, One Wild Night Uncompromised, number 3. You know, come out for that 40th birthday shenanigans. But hey, we're here for the Rifle. Yeah, and you know, I love these guys. They've been my, probably 4 of my dearest friends for about the last decade. And they came into my life when I was really down and out. All I had was Overload because, you know, shit happens and good people pass away well before their time, and that shit sucks. And I remember getting this interview on WCHQ on the Hippie Head and Kev Spotlight, the metal showcase on Thursdays. And I came into the studio and we were talking. It was our first show at 3rd Street Dive here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I was always so jazzed to play it. And granted, it was not in the original location. It was in the new location. And finally we got in there. We were, we were good enough to get in there. They booked us with this band called Rifle, and I'd never heard of them before. And as I'm promoting the show, Hippie Head, you know, love the dude. Love you, Hippie. Hippie Head was telling me, he's like, who are y'all playing with that night? And I was like, it's some band called Rifle. He's like, oh, hell, they're awesome. And I proceeded to be blown the fuck away when I watched them the very first time. And, you know, they have been dear friends ever since. We've played numerous shows together. They've played numerous shows on the shows I've promoted. Probably more so than we've actually played together, but I love each and every one of them for very different reasons. They're all great, great people, and I am so proud to invite them onto the Metal Forge in the podcast era. They were the first guests on the Metal Forge when it was still called the Pit of Despair back in January of 2019. They did an acoustic set on that episode. It was the very first episode of the radio days. And then they came back 6 months later when they were able to perform electrically, because I tried to do the acoustic thing for a while on the show. And they really wanted me to push having electric acts in the studio, so they got their proper on that. And then today they get their proper for quite some time. You know, it's kind of like the Nasty Nate episode. If you listen to that from Nate from Ulm, Nate McDaniel. His episode was a 2.5-hour fest of just us bullshitting about times and good times and old times and stuff like that. This is pretty much the same. This is a long one. It's fun. I enjoy it because, like I said, I love these two guys, and hey, we had such a great time here, and we're going to continue to have such awesome fucking times over this weekend and for another fucking 40 years in the Metal Forge, hopefully. So, fuck yes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to check in here with Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland, and he's got some stuff to talk to you about. I'm pretty sure he's going to be talking to you about playing some shows tonight and tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Wasteland. Hope everyone's been well. A little bit of a dry spell right now as far as new releases go that I am looking forward to. Until the Tigers of Pantang album comes out May 5th, which I'm pretty excited about. So I figured I would just do a little promotion for my band, Temptations Wings. And we will be playing 2 shows in the Kentucky area, more specifically Louisville and Jeffersonville, Indiana, on Friday, April 28th, the day this is released, and Saturday, April 29th, up in Indiana. We are actually playing a show tonight, as you hear this, with this week's guest, Rifle, which I'm pretty excited about because it's always fun to meet new bands and, start a new camaraderie with, total strangers who fight for the attention of the casual patron at some of these bars. We haven't been out since 2019 as far as multi-day run goes. The last one we did was for Maryland Doomfest. That was back in summer of 2019. Everyone knows what happened shortly after that, so no need to rehash that dark period. So we're pretty excited to get out because really the logistics of being in a band, regional or national or international, the logistics sometimes is just a matter of stars aligning at the right time. There seems to be like 5,000 bands who want the venue that you're playing at any weekend. So sometimes it's uphill battle just being early enough to ask to get on a show. Many times I've found it's easier to just ask people in other bands in the area to help you out because venues sometimes do not respond, which I've never understood since it's kind of their lifeblood to have people come in to watch music. So there's always that issue. I always say when you email a venue, if the venue would just tell you no, even if it was just the actual letters N-O, no, that would be better than no response at all. That way you can move on and cross that one off your list. But enough rambling about trying to book a show. We are pretty excited that everything worked out. 3 out of 4 of us have small kids, and all 4 of us work. 3 of us work at dealerships. I am self-employed, so it's a little easier for me. But just getting everything lined up with vacation days or days off, or birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, family reunions, stuff like that. It's always something out there trying to stop you from doing what you love. So the fact that this weekend worked out, we're really excited and we can't wait to get up there. And this will actually be the first time I've ever met Mark in person. So we will see if the friendship endures after meeting me in person. I might be cooler online than the real me. Who knows? We will find out. But so if you're in the Louisville area, come out to Mag Bar tonight. Or if you if we do a good job and you want to see more, come out to the Indiana show the following night. We're actually playing 2 different sets, almost completely. There's 1 repeat song, but you just have to come to both shows to find out which one it is. So we look forward to seeing you and meeting you. I am the drummer of Temptations Wings, in case you come out and don't know who this is talking. So if you heard this, come talk to me at the merch table. I will be perched up there when I am not setting up, playing, or tearing down. And I will also be meandering around, checking out the other bands, and sampling some of the fine beers and maybe whiskey if I'm up for it at the show. So we hope to see you, and come out and tell Mark happy birthday also, since it's his birthday celebration. Happy 40th. Join the club. It's all downhill from here. You will wake up with random aches and pains with no explanation, rhyme, or reason, and then they will just go away one day. So there you go, Mark. A lot to look forward to here in the 40s with me, and I'm sure many others listening to this. So as always, guys, stay safe, stay heavy, keep the heavy metal flame lit, metal every day, and we will talk to you next time.
you know what? This is one of my most exciting birthday moments, I guess, for this week, is actually getting to meet one of my heavy metal partners out there. Jason and I, we started the Flamekeeper podcast network, where it's the Metal Forge, the Ale Horn, and the Mud Horn, as well as the Unsleeved videos on YouTube and stuff like that. Go to patreon.com/Flamekeeper, all one word, to look at the tiers. I believe it's $1, $2, and $5, or $1, $3, and $5, something like that. Go check it out, patreon.com/Flamekeeper. But it's so awesome to actually get to meet him for the very first time in person after talking with him for the last year and a half. Jason, you kick fucking ass. Thank you so fucking much. I will see you soon. And let's go ahead and get into this week's episode with Rifle. This is a song of theirs that it's a sleeper track, I think, for a lot of people, but I love it. This is Navigator. What is going on, metalheads and maniacs out there? Holy shit. This week is awesome for me because tonight, by the time this is being recorded, tonight, you're going to get to go to the Mag Bar and see Halfcaster Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland, his band Temptations Wings, and the band of the two guys, or people, sitting here. I misgendered somebody one time, and I felt really awful about it after the fact. So now I'm like, oh shit, I gotta correct myself, right? So I have Mr. Jet Piston and RT Kraken of the band Rifle.
Rock on.
Dudes, what the fuck is going on?
We're just hanging out at the Metal Forge.
Sitting there being dysfunctional.
Yeah, right?
There is nothing illegal going on.
Not at all. Why would there be?
No reason.
I mean, this is actually legal.
Technically, it is legal, yeah.
It is, because it falls just under the amount. And Sean's going to be coughing to death today because he hit my pen, my vape pen, and he's just like, oh my god, and he's not coming back, folks. He's not coming fucking back. Dudes, what the fuck is up?
Not much. We're just happy to be here and happy to see you again. Thank you for inviting us and having us come out. It's been, I know, it's been so.
I think I've
very
seen you
long.
more. I think I've seen you more in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks than I have in like the last 3 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you're going to see us again
The
soon.
last 10 days, I've seen you more than my spouse. So.
I feel so bad for her. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, maybe I should feel good for her not having to see you.
I feel bad for me. It's,
I feel bad for you, but not for her. I'll call her. Don't worry.
The funny thing is like, I really had this moment back about 6-7 months ago where I was meeting up with somebody to do an interview at a venue. And I just sit there and I was just like talking to a friend of mine and her friend, and all of a sudden shit became real.
Ooh.
And it's like, wait a minute, is this happening? Holy shit, this is actually happening, right? And I seriously, I was thinking to myself, it's like, I gotta fucking tell these guys a rain check, we'll pick it back up on the phone. and then I was just like, motherfucker, I bet this is what RT feels like. It's like I had my RT Kraken rockstar moment.
Yeah,
and I was just like, fuck yeah. And it was a Sunday night show. It was like a matinee show. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, sometimes it's like the Dear Penthouse letters, but, they're comedy. So, right. Dear Penthouse, you'll never believe this.
No
I couldn't believe when she pulled out the rubber chicken.
The phone number in my palm dissolving on the way, to the hotel.
Tim.
What the fuck? What's your number?
Right. Tim Wilson had a song where he was in a diner eating lunch or some shit. He was like having meatloaf, and the girl wrote her number down on the napkin, and he wipes his face with the napkin, and he couldn't make out her name, and it was Jane and then Ketchup, so he called her Jane Ketchup Stain.
Most ridiculous story. I met 2 girls at a bar the night that I introduced him to his spouse, and out of the blue, these 2 young things were trying to explain to me I should go to a hotel with them. I'm like, okay.
You did,
and then the number
I'm sure you did.
Melted out of my back palm, and I never made it.
Holy shit.
Because I was driving him home really fucking fast. And I sweated the number off my palm.
And
you got to get your fucking ass out of here. We're going.
And thanks for the ride, though. I had a good time.
Well, I mean, look, and I'm assuming this was in the early 2000s or the late 90s, or
it was the very late 90s.
The very late 90s, almost to 2000.
Like 99, 98, 99, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Rifle has been on the Metal Forge before.
Correct.
You've been on twice a band.
At least twice.
As a band. You were on the very first episode when it was still the Pit of Despair.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
The Pit of Despair. the albino at the beginning, and then Kathy at WCHQ was like, man, I like the idea, but it's real depressing sounding. I'm like, it's fucking metal. I was like, it's fucking Metal Forge then. Because that was the other
If I had a
one.
show like this, it would be the Shock Tower.
The Shock Tower?
Shock Tower. Take her to the Shock Tower.
So, and then that was an acoustic performance that you all had done the first time you were here. You all were the first live guests in the Metal Forge. And then, so about 6 months later, you all came back and did an electric show. And Jet, you've been on a couple of times on like the Halloween extravaganza. You were there in the Christmas one.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out, bullshit and talking. You did do an awesome cover of one of your songs, acoustic. My Machine.
Yeah.
And I still love that, and I still listen to it.
Oh, cool.
I cut it out of the show, put it in my playlist. I think I sent you a copy of it.
I think you did, but I don't know if I still have a copy.
And you sent me a recorded version with no vocals.
Yeah.
And I still have it. And
Awesome.
I will put it on, and I'll be like, you're the ghost in my machine. And I'm like, so... and I'm so off time from RT's fucking his delivery.
I'm pretty sure that I have an acoustic version that we recorded too.
Really? That you just never put out?
Yeah, we were practicing one day and we decided to do it, and it may be on my cloud. I'm not even sure.
Hell yeah!
I'll have to look.
That's a song that I would play any fucking night for anybody.
Yeah.
That is a joy to sing.
My Machine is a good
song. It's really
song.
easy to sing.
Right.
And it's really open, and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of space to work in there.
And here's where the cool thing is, and here's where I am like, I am total fucking fanboy for Rifle.
Aww.
I really am. Like, I've bought
I'm
physical...
simultaneously touched and kind of getting a boner.
Good. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
I can see your nipples from here.
And the thing about it is like, I've bought physical and digital copies, off of iTunes, and it's like I go to a show, it's like, I don't have it on CD yet. So I buy it on CD too, right?
Oh, we got to get some LPs.
Fuck yeah, because I'll buy it all.
Nice.
Get some of those old wax cones.
Like for a player piano. That would be great.
Rifle on the player piano.
Vinny, see, that's the problem. Vinny listens to the show from Belushi Speedball.
Yeah.
And he will take that idea and run with it.
Nice.
Like, a few weeks back, I was sitting there talking to somebody, and it was about the show at Art Sanctuary, Metal Night at Art Sanctuary, and one of the bands was like, we have no merch. And I'm like, fucking bring a goddamn lamp or some shit. Set up a fucking yard sale on your merch table.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. And I mean, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
I mean, you might have something that somebody wants.
You might. You never know.
I mean, Grandpa's bull dick cane or some shit. Bring it out. Sell it. It's just they're collecting dust.
Write your fucking band name on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things too. And I'll dig into the drawer here. This was the most perfect investment I've ever had. And for all of you out in Metal Forge land, it's actually a fucking stamp. I bought this thing in 2008.
Nice.
And I have never had to refill it. And I have stamped a million. I've stamped a million fucking things with this.
Well, one of our more popular items that we sell, which we are now, I believe, completely sold out, is our T-shirts that we make ourselves by just making a stencil and spraying bleach on it.
On a black shirt.
On a black shirt. And we make lots of different, designs and different logo placements and stuff. And it's personal.
Names on it.
We put people's names on them, and it's personal, and it's
two wolves and an eagle and a girl on like a leather halter top with a feather earring,
howling at the moon, a full moon,
Yes.
But it's something personal that we make ourselves, and some people really enjoy that sort of thing, and I'm happy to fill that niche market
Right.
Because, we always have fun making them because it's usually a band thing. And we go out in Flannery's yard and drink a few beers and make a few shirts.
Now, Flannery's Yard, also known as Filthy Phil's Good Time Emporium.
Exactly. It's the place to go for a drink and whatever else you want to do.
A quick tussle with a couple of German Shepherds.
Yeah.
Because, gotta mention Adeline and Oliver, the
best puppies.
Adeline's my secret girlfriend.
Oh, is she?
Oh, is she? Oh, no. You can't say that because now Sean's going to show up and he's going to be like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, he knows.
He
He
won't-
sees her making the moony eyes at me or come over with
He
her.
won't show up. He's still at work.
Right? Oh, my gosh. Talk about that. He's like, one step, man. He's like, as soon as my house is paid off, I am done with corporate
Yeah.
America. And I totally get that. But, so... You guys have been in and out of bands. So, a little history lesson here. You've been in and out of bands with one another for 40 years?
Since 19, I want to say 80?
Okay.
No,
So,
I didn't meet you until...
No, but Kenny and Sean and I were in bands
yes.
back
because-
in the we were still in high school, and then we met you in the late '80s,
bathroom
mid
at
'80s.
Tula.
I met you at the Vogue
It's
when
at
you
the
were
Vogue
mooning the
Theater.
crowd.
Yeah, I went to the Vogue and mooned the crowd at a Halloween show. Yeah, a friend of ours and I were dressed as Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yes.
And no
because-
one in the crowd knew who the fuck they were except
Yeah.
for myself and
You know what would
and
be
the
really
skank
fucked
I was
up?
dating at the time.
Yeah, you what?
You know what would be really fucked up is if you were actually wearing a mask and someone still recognized you.
That has happened to me.
Of course it
Yeah.
has happened to you. If anything that is crazy, fucked up, a hillbilly fucking homeless bum is pushing a fucking piano across Main Street. You are there watching him.
Well, sometimes I need to just come in here and tell you horror stories. Like
That's exactly what I want you to do.
the Angel of Death story and the
I want to have
David Lynch strip joint that was downtown.
I want to have I think I've heard of that place.
The gay 90s, there was a hole in the floor. They put parking cones around it and wrapped police tape around it so that you wouldn't fall into the hole and go into the basement.
How many people did though?
I only saw one. But they had,
But they had tape, so
they had really
obviously
cheap
there were
drinks,
more.
but they also stocked really cheap, shitty alcohol. And the idea was, aside from having the worst strippers in the world and the place being like all falling down, homeless guys would come in and buy cheap shots and shit. And so you'd have the front of the building was full of like homeless guys, and the back of the building was like the worst strippers in the world, and then like me and Ed Mather, because he's like, you got to see this place. And I went there, I'm like, this is like a David Lynch film. It's horrifying, and I had to keep coming back because it's not like I was aroused or anything. It was just like
You were
this
aroused
is
in
so-
horror.
Well, I paid one of the strippers every now and then. She'd come over and I had to pay her to go away. I would not. She'd come over and I would not give her a dance. I'd just give her $5 to go away. And after a while, she'd look at her watch and come over again. And I'm like, I'd give her another $5. She had on she was north of 60, and she had on a negligee that was north of 30. And,
Wow.
and she had like feet like Golem, and. But one night,
Fish clenched into one of her feet.
one night, this homeless guy wasn't paying attention. He fell into the hole of the basement, and he stopped in his armpits. And he's like screaming in terror as he's dangling above the basement. And the other homeless guys are all laughing and pouring mugs of beer on his head
Oh shit.
as he shrieks in horror.
Jesus.
And that is not the worst thing I saw happen there. So
No.
there was some really crazy things happening in Louisville right around that era. That's the time of the San Antonio Inn. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That was quite a place.
Oh, Christ.
See, and that's stuff that I am way too young to remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
some night, have me in here, I'll just do a Louisville soft white underbelly tales.
You should.
It's just the
I
horrifying
mean, yeah,
scene.
like horror in the music scene in the 80s. See, that's one of my goals is I'm trying to archive a bunch of music from that time period. It's been such a fucking chore to get people to submit music to
I have
it.
a CD in my car of Crown of Thorns paint again.
Really?
If you want it.
Of course.
I'll go get it in a little bit. Bring it in for you. Yeah.
We might play that on the show.
Be my guest.
So,
Manastraw. Best song on there.
oh wow.
Well, Love Song.
Love
The
Song's
recording of
on
Love
there.
Song is really sweet. It's a
Yeah.
different arrangement from what we do now, but that was nice. And
So like,
World of
this
Shit.
is a love song.
Yeah, actually,
Exactly.
parts of it, yeah.
Nice.
World of Shit was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was a Crown of Thorns
Dread
song.
was just oppressive.
Moloch was a Crown of Thorns
Yeah.
song, right?
It was, yeah.
So
Yeah, we dredged up
Yeah,
some
that
old
was-
Crown of Thorns songs for Rifle just because we love the songs.
Well,
know,
yeah,
but,
and if you each were a writer in the band, what the fuck difference does
Yeah.
it make?
Yeah, Moloch makes, that's when I can stand there. I'm blowing my throat for the evening, and I could be tired, depressed, drunk. I could have TB or whatever. I could still sing that song and remember all the words.
Right. Absolutely.
Which is funny because I can't remember all the words. Love Song goes back decades, and I still can't remember the words to it. I couldn't remember them then. I can't remember now.
yeah.
And see, that's my thing is like, because I love Sean. Sorry. I love Sean's bass. Just because, like, fucking, he's just so awesome, and I cannot play like him to save my life.
Yeah, nobody can.
Nobody, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, nobody can. He is his own animal, but all
Yeah.
the shit that he does, and then with RT's vocals, it's so fucking, and obviously, the four of you, you're you. There is no
Right.
there is no other band in my experience that sounds like Rifle.
That's one of the things that I love about our group is that when we get together and play, it doesn't sound like everybody else.
Yeah, it's like Metallica
and we
or
don't-
Jethro Tull.
And it's not something that we consciously try to do. It's just that when we get together with these four guys and we make music, that's just the way it sounds.
Right.
So we're very lucky that we're, have a sort of uniqueness to our sound.
And and that's the whole thing too, is like, I think I don't think it's necessarily, quote, ahead of your time, because obviously this is your time, right? Because you're doing it now. But
I think it's kind of before our time because a lot of our influences are from early times, like Sabbath and early Maiden and other more
Rush,
a lot of Rush influences, yeah.
right? And
Everybody
Judas
loves,
Priest.
and I have weird influences that
Yeah.
you really don't hear that much in the band, except sometimes my lyrics. Fucking like songs like the band's like Television,
Right.
Yeah.
Who nobody knows that. Old like 70s Talking Heads.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The Dead Boys, Lord of the New Church.
And you're also a shit. Now I've done
Yes,
lost it.
I am. I'm
He
a
is
total
a shit.
You
Yes.
are a shit, sir. Now, you're a T-Rex fan too, right?
Oh hell yeah.
Everyone is.
Everyone should
everyone
be,
is.
but the Kraken is definitely, and I am too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and like, even though that's a band, even that fucking people just like, everybody cites it, but like, you don't really
You don't hear it.
hear it.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
When we do something soft, I feel myself stealing from Bolin.
Really?
Yeah. Well, bang a gong. Get it on. He's very soft on that, and it's it's very. I love that. Very
Oh, for
influential.
sure.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing that I really have enjoyed you guys doing on the last couple of EPs. You've had, like, songs like Goddamn Spanish Orange and, Jesus, what else? Godspeed.
Godspeed. I was going to say
yeah.
Godspeed. I couldn't remember the name of it
Yeah.
because it's a song, and I don't remember the names of our songs.
Right. Because you've got hundreds at
We
this
have a
point.
few. I don't know if it's hundreds, but it's
It's over 100.
Is it over?
Yeah.
Finally, good.
Wow.
Something like 112. Something like that.
Jesus. That's a
Well,
lot.
they wrote like 8 songs before I came along. So
Yeah, we had been a band for a long time before the Kraken joined us.
Right.
So we already had written several songs and then recorded some stuff, and then we had a period of time where we were, after he joined, where I was like, well, this is how I sing the song, so just use it as a guide, but sing however you think it should be.
Right.
You know, so some of the songs that we were doing changed dramatically, and some of them hardly changed at all.
If you look at the way I used to sing No Tomorrow as opposed to how I sing it now, it's a huge change.
Yes.
Because I was like trying to sing like him, and I can't because he's got this screechy little girl voice. Like,
what are you talking
punched
about?
him in the ovaries and.
Well, you know, one of the things about that for me is like, I really, when I came to a practice one time, and you all had dug out a different kind of ugly.
Yeah.
To put on the second actual
Which I've
album.
never sung the same way twice.
Right. And the original version I heard was the Reverb Nation recordings that you had done, and put those on there because you had different kind of ugly, Finally Fell, and something else.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the third song was. But when I came to the practice and you all had played it, I was like, this sounds really fucked up. Because it was where the Kraken was singing it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, shit, man. It's like, yeah.
It sounds weird to your ear.
It does, because it's like almost like hearing a cover of it. And I said, it's like, I don't think the melody's right. And you're like, and the Kraken's like, that's just how I sing it.
What's a melody? A melody? There's a melody. Oh my god, I'm sick.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, I sound like a prick. That's like Chuck Berry. I make Chuck Berry songs.
Play Chuck Berry songs.
So, you've released as Rifle. You know, and Rifle dates back to, approximately 1996?
About 96, yeah.
Yeah. And as of now...
Like when Crown of Thorns kind of petered out and he had to do something with his hands.
Right. And he needed to... Yeah. And so, from what I remember and recall, because I didn't actually take notes on this, I'm going because of sheer fanboy here. You've got 2 albums out, which is The Speed of Doubt and...
Is this a quiz?
Speed of Doubt and the other full-length album.
Full-length album.
Yeah, that one.
Excuse me. Yeah, Ready for Action. That was
Ready for Action predates that.
So,
but it's full album.
so
we did.
So, okay, so
Big
this
Scary.
is what I'm asking about. Yeah, Big Scary is the second full length.
Big Scary.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I was excited because you said it.
Yeah. Actually, the Kraken said it first.
Figures.
He
And
did.
yet, there was no prize, and my drink is empty.
So, the first full-length album came out in, like, 2013-ish?
Ish, yeah.
Now, what did you all do before that? Because, like, the Reverb Nation demos, those were a digital-only kind of thing.
We recorded a couple of times at Al Fresco Place recording studio, and but it was very limited release because we just burned our own copies and basically just gave them away of stuff like that. And we had 1 CD worth of stuff from there, and then a second CD worth of stuff where I took we had reached the point where I had software at home that I could remix it on, so I took the instrumental tracks and mixed them with new vocals.
Okay.
And that was another one. And we did have like an EP that we had recorded at my house with a friend of ours who had all the gear that he needed to record with.
Okay.
But that was another one that I went ahead that I was mixing. But none of them were of the quality that I would release now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because that's technologically different.
But that's what we spent a few years doing. Basically, just playing shows and recording every now and then when we had the money to pay for it, or when my buddy would say, "Hey, I can come over and record you guys."
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, the reason why I asked is because the band's inception approximate 96, but it was until like 2013 before an actual full-length album came out.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And all we did in the intervening years was play shows.
Right.
Yeah.
And even some of the acoustic shows.
Yeah, we did a lot of acoustic shows, actually. We had a side gig with...
He did a wedding.
we did... We would play acoustic songs or acoustic versions of Rifle songs and a bunch of covers, along with my spouse, Malady Adroit, who would sing lead vocals on a lot of songs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
She's
that
got a
that was
deeply versatile voice.
oh she's
Because she sings.
I've never...
their voice
They sing.
their voice is amazing.
Yeah, it's and they complain about it all the time about how it's not a hair on the ass what it used to be, but they harmonize beautifully with me. The three of us harmonize together.
Yeah.
Amazing, and their voice goes just at least as deep as mine, but then way the fuck up.
Nice.
And it's a very when it goes up, it stays warm. It's a very rich, warm sound instead of a squeaky screech.
They did actually study
because Jet has the squeaky,
the high squeaky voice,
yeah.
but my spouse did actually study singing and opera early in life,
Okay.
so they know how to use their voice.
And I was stunned though at how well their voice mixed with mine.
Yeah,
And,
really well.
And my voice goes well with his, but
And mine.
but the three of us together, and we had a band, and no one ever heard it.
We had a band called The Innocents,
Aha.
and it was very techno forward,
Okay.
And
but
gothy,
very gothy, and
Does recordings exist of this?
they've been destroyed.
No, I still have some of it.
Some of it,
I
but
still have some, not all of it, but
you remastered, you remixed some of it, and then of course the song that I really want, the version of Summer with.
I've never been able to find that. Yeah.
Good song. And it was a lot of very heartfelt, overwrought lyrics because Malady and I are really good at that. I would say Malady writes better lyrics than I do. They were really, really fucking good.
And you write amazing lyrics, in my opinion. Like, this is where it's stupid for me because I am a complete lyric hound when it comes to music. Like, I pay attention to the way things are inflected, the way things are worded. Not everything is overtly covert and shit. That you can really dissect a lot of people's idea with that.
Yeah.
And that's why
every lyric doesn't have to be explicit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I has always loved about the Kraken's lyrical ability. So much, in fact, that, one of the Overload songs he wrote, 1984, which is fucking awesome. And I kind of still wish we played it. But,
what the hell? Did you throw it away?
No.
Is it gone?
No, it's not gone. I do know that the funny thing is like, I guess I uploaded the wrong file to DistroKid.
Oh, no.
For that song. And there's no vocal track until you get to the choruses. And it's just like the chorus is the only thing you hear, which and the joke with Overload is we don't usually have a lot of choruses.
Right.
And we have 3 verses, 3 chorus riffs, but no actual vocals over them because I write terrible choruses.
I wrote those lyrics and I sang them a lot in my head and I sang them out loud by myself. And every time I did, I'm like, man, this sounds like ass. There's nothing I can do with this. What the fuck? I'm like,
man, this sounds
oh, wait a
like
minute.
ass.
I bet.
You might as well give it to the shittiest band in town.
Give this to Mark, because he will smack this on the cheek and make it work. And he did. And actually, when the first time I heard it, I mean, I knew it would be good, but the first time I heard it, I'm like, this is really fucking good.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's all because of the lyrics. The lyrics that are written for it. I got into this, that whole thing.
Right.
And, so what I really love is like the way your rhetoric is and the way you construct. You don't have any two songs that are alike. They might have similar ideas behind them. Hey, this is a song about a girl.
And that makes me so fucking crazy because I can't carve out a niche for myself because none of my songs sound alike.
Which is funny because
lyrically, it's one of them is like really arch, and the next one is like, got a commas and shit where I cut all the letters out. It's like one is Homeboy and the next one is Edgar Allan Poe.
But I'm going to go through and I'm going to, this is a recite from memory because I know the lyrics and because I sing every fucking song at your shows because I'm that guy. And
we love that.
And I'm singing it like, hey, ha, in my fucking like actual fucking voice, right? Not like mumbling the words, right? And fucking sometimes I'm like, dude, I've got to shut the fuck up because people are going to hear, these people are going to hear me and look at me like I'm an idiot, because like, he knows every fucking song. What the fuck? And
he must know them.
So, one of my favorite songs, the first verse is, I could seek some solace in my college poetry, but I am not young Werther, and that shit don't work for me.
Oh, yeah, there was, someone had chastised me. I was in college at the time, and I'm working at Denny's, and go to college. I'd get off of Denny's, go straight to college, and I was like rushing out the door. But someone had chastised me that, like, why don't you just take like your poetry and set that to music? Why do you gotta have all these angry, stupid, snotty lyrics? And I'm heading out the door from work to go to school. And in my head, I'm thinking about this wisdom they'd given me. And as I'm heading towards the door, I'm like, I could seek some solace in my college poetry. And then I drop my fucking keys. And I hit my head on the doorknob and I bent down to pick them up. I'm like, fuck! But I am not none further and that shit don't work for me. And from there was like this horrible song about, paranoia and German literature, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently so.
German literature tends to make you paranoid.
Now, you guys did the song before he was actually the vocalist.
Worried About Me?
Yes.
We had done that in Fruit Bat.
We did that in Fruit Bat, which was a sort of between Crown of Thorns.
No one came. Fruit Bat was really excellent. We wrote great stuff, and nobody came to see us because our name was Fruit Bat. So that was a.
So no one took us seriously.
And we spelled it like with the the O's, like they're like
Fruit
double O, like
Loops.
Fruit Loops.
It was Fruit Bat.
Fruit Bat. And probably you were supposed to say Fruit Bat. And that was
didn't Brian come up with that? Our bass player at the time was Brian Kane.
I think the two of us at the same time were like Fruit Bat.
He's still around. Brian's a local artist who does some great
stuff. And
stuff.
he's also in Who Saw Her Die.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Who Saw Her Die. Another local group, which is great. More electronic.
A Louisville group.
Yeah, kind of a
Louisville group.
Yeah.
Louisville.
And a Louisville artist.
It's kind of well, he's
Louisville.
working.
Yes.
He's working
Exactly.
with Steve Beasy.
Because there's
an L word.
Yeah, you can't say that 5-letter L word. I mean, I dig the idea, but the idea is outdated and could be improved upon.
So a Louisville group.
Yes. So a Louisville group.
Yeah, he works for Steve Beasy. He goes all the way back to like Mind Incorporated back in the late 80s, I think it was. Late 80s, early 90s, Mind Incorporated, Techno Theater of the Mind. But he went from that into the Architects of Fear, which was with Jet and Brian, and I don't know, didn't you have a drummer?
Yeah.
And Flannery, was he...
Flannery came... Well, Flannery and I and our drummer Kenny were together in bands in high school.
Okay.
And then Flannery, for a while, was playing in some more traditional heavy metal sort of bands.
Yeah, like Deathlehan.
Queen Assassin.
And Queen Assassin, which I actually have that demo.
Nice.
Yes.
So, but he came into Crown of Thorns because we had released this.
He was teching for us.
Yeah, he was doing tech work for us. He would come in and help us load, and he would do guitar tech work, and actually one time on stage, one of my pedals failed, and he came and fixed everything in the middle of a song, and there was like, it was so smooth. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
That's the night at CD Graffitis.
CD Graffitis, yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, what a pit of despair that was.
But we had written the album Pain Again and recorded it. Well, when we were writing it and recording it, I had added rhythm guitar parts. So he came on board with Crown of Thorns as a rhythm guitar player.
Right.
And he did that with us for a while. And then when Crown of Thorns sort of ended and Sean and I started working together, he went back to bass.
Right.
And that's when we became what would eventually be Rifle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the funny thing to me is when you're saying in traditional heavy metal bands and stuff like that,
yeah.
And when he came in to play guitar, the only thing that I can think of is he looks like Nigel Tufnell. The one picture that I have of him of that era.
My goodness.
Yes.
See, back in the when he was
Exactly.
in Crown of Thorns,
Because he has the mullet.
He would be behind me doing this little elf dance with the guitar back and forth across the stage. It was just, that's all I could describe it as. Like he's like prancing like an elf or a pixie or something. But
And I will say this, Jet, you were like, he came on there and was just like, everything was so smooth. He fixed it right during the show, which is great.
and he
because
was altered
more
at the
often,
time too.
And what?
He was altered at the time too.
Yeah, he was high as fuck.
Deeply altered.
Right. But he really, as he's gotten older, he's went from looking like Nigel Tufnell to Junior Soprano.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I call him Junior all the time. Oh, what's going on, Junior? He's like, man, come on.
Go shit in your hat.
Go shit in your hat. Yes. No, because he was telling me how he came up for the riff for "Worried About Me."
Yeah, yeah.
And on the acoustic, just dicking around one day, and it's a
There's a few songs.
heavy song.
Yeah, starts out kind of light and then gets really very heavy in the middle. And there's a few other songs where he's actually written the like intro guitar parts too. Yeah.
And that's awesome because I think that's cool when bands can do that. Like, you all saw from First Sight where we switched fucking players.
Yeah, yeah.
The drummer was the guitar
player, and now he's
vice versa. Well, no, the funny thing about that is he was the drummer, then he was a guitar player, and now he's a drummer again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the beautiful circle of life.
It is.
It's like working with John Scum when John Scum wouldn't stay behind the drum kit. He kept running out to play the keyboard, and then he wanted to steal the microphone and sing. And
Yeah.
great drummer. Could not play the same song the same way 2 times in a row. Each time he played it, it would be great, but you're like, what the fuck are we doing now? that was the work before Fruit Bat. There was Jet and Brian Kane and I, and we were working with John Scum briefly, and then wound up with Jay Ballard. Is it?
Jay Ballinger. Yeah.
Jay Ballinger. I always get his last name wrong, and that was because I really loved Fruit Bat. It's just nobody else came to see us.
Yeah.
But we were really gelling at the time, and we had Chris Hester playing drums with Crown of Thorns, and he's really bombastic and really
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
great.
Shout out to Chris. I know
Oh,
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be in Hellride, yeah, because
He
Brent
lives
Starkey
over
sent
near
him our way.
Flannery.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really close. But then we moved to Jay, and Jay, completely different way of playing, and it worked really well. It lightened the mood and made things a little bit more melodic. Worked really well.
Yeah.
I really like that band. We made some good stuff. But no one knows anything about when we were doing The Innocents. That was happy time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And see, that's what I think is awesome. Like, that whole, this band leads to this, leads to that.
Yeah,
And I had my stuff of that as well. Like, the Confederate Dead was one, and nobody really saw that either.
Right.
So, or Soma. People saw Soma, but more people know the Full Tilt stuff, or the Other Side thing that I did.
Right.
That's actually what it's called, was the Other Side.
Actually, while
Satire.
Rifle was going on for a few years, I was also in another band called Atomic, which
okay.
was a total cover band.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
you can always find
Kinda.
something to do. Hey, it was
Paying
like
the bills.
it was like a Prince and ABBA cover band, pretty much.
Really?
We would play colleges and frat parties and
I would go see
any
you
dance
guys.
club. Yeah, we used to play Phoenix Hill all the time and just pack the house
Right.
because everybody wants to dance.
Of course.
Yeah.
And hey, that's what it's
I
about.
did sound for them in Madison once. It was amazing. The board
Mm-hmm.
was made of like coconuts and bamboo, and it was horrible.
Wow. So another lyric is, "I keep it safely hidden like a lantern in a cloak."
Yeah, I was really going over the top on that song. I was writing it in a coffee house, of course, and that's back in the Innocents.
Yeah.
Elysium is from when we were in the Innocents, and I'm doing that verse. Well, actually, the second verse is when I started off really over the top,
Right.
and halfway through the verse, I realized this is really over the top. So the second half of the verse is me making fun of the first half of the verse. As I descend into maudlin hyperbole. If I'm overwrought, it's over what you've wrought in me. I'm like,
and
yes,
I think that's
where's my
amazing.
black pants?
Right. And I think it's an amazing song. And do you have, when you hear a song today, being the ages that you guys are?
Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because
Yeah, we've been around for a long time. Yeah.
well, yeah, you guys are, RT is right around 20 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time this is airing, it'll have been 2 days past my 40th birthday.
Exactly.
So yeah. Do you have a song that you still hear today that you exactly remember where you were when you heard it the first time? Because Elysium I can do that with. I remember you guys closed the show at Phoenix Hill on one of my showcases there, and I was walking out the door to go downstairs because it was your all's last song, because I was going to get on them to get the start the shit to get the payouts, right?
Right.
And I stopped when you started the beginning, the
Right.
beginning riff, and I fucking stopped and I was like, holy shit, what is this? And I'm still that way every time I hear it. I'm like, holy shit, what is
Nice.
this?
Thank you.
And it's in that I know exactly where I was when I first heard that song, because to me it was just like, it took like Worried About Me, which was a favorite,
Yeah.
and just was like through the roof on it.
Nice. I can't think of anything like that, but I do have a lot of memories of hearing albums for the first time at like somebody's house,
Okay.
where like
What about Creatures of the Night?
I first heard Creatures of Night at my own house. I listened to it twice, all the way through, and a good friend of mine asked to borrow it. A guy, what was his name? Oh, it was Kenny Beckham, our drummer, who borrowed it and still has it. But yeah, I do remember listening to it. Yeah, it was a good record. Yeah.
I always love that story. At the show the last time, I was just like, "Hey, Kenny, listen to Creatures lately?" And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, no, but I don't care. He's a bigger Kiss fan than I am. So
He's like, "You got to come over one day. I'll show you my collection."
yeah,
He's like Gene Simmons. He collects everything.
He does.
He said, "Man, I had a chance to get a Kiss pinball machine one time, one of the originals."
Yeah.
Guy, he's like, I didn't have the money at the time. not like I do now. Like, what the hell? Thanks, Kenny. And he goes, you wanted $800 for it.
Yeah.
And then he said, he's like, my wife told me, it's like, would you even play it? You'd probably just let it sit there. Lick it once in a while.
He'd just go down in his kiss room and look at it.
Right. So you remember, like, specifically...
I remember specific albums, like Zeppelin's fourth album was in somebody's house in their like TV room, their rec room sort of area, and somebody had it and said, "Hey, have you heard this?" And we listened to that all the way through, and there was a lot of pot smoke floating around.
So here's an interesting concept, and that might be the reason why I'm thinking of this right now. So, when was the last time you did that?
Smoke pot?
No.
Listen to an album all the way through?
Yeah, like, hey man, have you listened to this? And then
it's been a long time since I turned somebody else onto an album.
Yeah, see, that's kind of a thing that's kind of went away for...
Yeah. Now, I have
listened to an album all the way through.
I have turned people on, or tried to turn some people onto songs or bands, but it's always been like, hey man, this band is really good, you should hear this song.
Right.
Like there's a band called The Warning.
Yes.
Yeah, I love them. And I've said to a couple of people, hey, you should listen to this or that song by this band, but I don't think I've even bought more than 10 CDs in the last 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. I usually, the only CDs I buy are usually from local bands or bands that are traveling through town.
Right.
And I'll buy a CD if I like them or if they look like they need gas money. Yeah.
They look undesirable.
No, if they look like they're trying to get to their next gig,
right,
or something,
The last hard copy I bought was when Burning Rose Society came through, and bought their stuff.
Right on.
And now it's stuck in the truck, and I can't get it out. It's still in my stereo.
Oh no!
So it's always wanting to play. I have to move past it, but it's in there. So you talk about a song you can remember the first time you heard it.
Yeah.
And I can remember the first time I heard Nemesis by Shriekback.
Shriekback, yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever heard Shriekback. I was at Tooligans, and a band had played, and there was going to be 2 more bands. So it's the space in between, and they're playing some music over the PA. And I was there with that lovely lady you knew I dated in college. Mm-hmm. And there was it's like if she was like evil Stevie Nicks. It was great. It's like if Stevie Nicks had a bad attitude and listened to punk rock, this was her. And there was a certain booker there who liked to pretend that she could speak Italian, who was at our table and making time with us. And I suddenly realized the music playing was something I never heard before and was amazing. So I ran to the bar and knocked somebody down, and I spilled somebody's beer, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And he told me, and I finally had to write it on a napkin because I knew I'd forget it. But it was Nemesis by Shriekback, and it turns out that album, I bought the album immediately the next day, and the album is one of my 10 favorite albums of all time. And it's great. The lyrics on the inside, it was vinyl that came out, had the sleeve. The lyrics were all on there in phonetics.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is fucking insane. But it was, it's a big sound with a lot of bass and percussion and really strange lyrics.
It's a great song.
But it's a great song, yeah. Wow. Priests and cannibals, prehistoric animals, everybody happy when the dead come home. Big black nemesis, parthenogenesis, no one move a muscle as the dead come home.
Holy shit. I have to hear this.
It's good stuff.
And it's dance music.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really good.
I have to hear that.
Write it on a napkin so you don't forget.
Oil and Gold is an amazing album.
Yeah.
And you remember that from Tooligans?
Yeah.
Wow. Where the only thing stickier than the bathroom floor was the fucking floor in the venue. In the venue.
They had the plastic stapled to the ceiling, and it would fill up with water from the rain, and then it was there for 2 years, turning greener and greener. And I just kept waiting for it to fall onto someone in the middle of the room, and Never did. Saw amazing shows there. I saw Diddley there.
Yeah, I saw some great shows there.
And
saw some great local music there too, because it was a great place for anybody to get their start. Because
Folks on Fire. It was like Louisville's CBGBs, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing of like now in Louisville, the venues are kind of fucking not there. There's the same ones you keep rotating. Not like back in the day where you had 20 or so places to play.
Right.
Now you've got like 7.
Yeah.
Well, we had a big energetic movement with the young folks, and they just rent a hall, and there'd be like all ages shows all the time, like every weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like
American Legion, VFW,
American Legion,
VFW, Democratic
St.
Club.
Albert's Church.
Yeah.
That's where I saw
Keswick Democratic
That's where I saw
Club.
Sam.
Yeah, the Keswick, yeah.
I saw Sam Hain at St. Albert's Church.
Oh,
That's
wow.
where, I got my head caved in by Mike New. It was amazing. I was playing, watching Sam Hain play basketball in costume. Glenn, of course, is in the back hiding. And I asked him, so is it Samhain or Sam Hain? And they're like, what do you think, dude? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, whatever, you're the fan, you're spending money, pick the name you like.
Nice.
Right.
Didn't realize until that night that Glenn Danzig was in fact a gnome and like a complete cheese weasel at the same time.
Yep. I've heard that.
He's only 3 feet tall.
It's amazing.
And bulletproof. So, but, he actually produced an album from a band from Louisville.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's what everybody
No, not
said.
them. I mean, the band. The band
is great.
The
The band is
production
great.
on it was ass. It was like,
Yes.
oh my! It was
I have heard so many people
absolutely
say that.
incompetent, and a lot of people have accused him of fucking it up on purpose because he was jealous of Sean Garrison's writing
Really?
and singing. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't think Jet appreciated him as much as I did, but I thought fucking King Horse really threw down. And I really enjoyed their shows, but that one song on their greatest gift just really resonated.
Awesome.
Love that song. I can't think of a song by a local band that I like more than that.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound very good on that album, but they did a local version of it.
Right.
They recorded shit themselves. Sounded great.
Yeah, because see, they were kind of the master of the, they put out the 7-inch shit a lot.
Yeah.
And then now, because again, this is kind of before my time in the scene, but from what my understanding of it is there is a full length out of the album that Danzig produced.
Oh, yeah.
But without Danzig doing it.
Oh, thank God.
It's their version. It was the version that they essentially he picked up,
Right.
and they re-recorded it. From what my understanding was,
From what I heard, back they called it Rat a lot back then. Sean Garrison, Glenn made him do vocal takes, start to finish of each song.
Ugh.
And if he didn't like it, you do the whole goddamn song again. And he had a cold that week, so his throat was already weak, and Danzig wouldn't let him punch in, and that was for pussies. Punching for pussies, man. They make him
That's stupid.
go back and do the whole song as it takes. That's the story I heard, and I believe it because it's awful. So always believe the awful stories.
Gosh, what a fucking fucking turd. Fucking. That's why you're fucking always self-produced.
Hell yeah.
Fucking just,
Or if you can afford him.
with the self-production, you run into the risk of your ego making you turn into an idiot.
If you can
But
afford him,
fortunately,
you
we
need
don't have
to.
that, but-
If you can afford him, you need to get Frank Cornelson to produce your
yes,
stuff. Yeah.
Frank
If you can
Cornelson.
afford him, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I can't afford him. I've tried, and no. But the coolest thing I ever saw was a bass player. And it was relating to the recording deal and the product. And he's like, the only modification that this bass has is it has this extra toggle switch that's right here, and this is what I call my producer switch. And he goes, when the producer's telling me, he's like, because I play a lot of sessions, he's like, so what I do when they tell me that they don't like my bass sound or whatever, and I just what I do is I make sure he sees me flip this switch, and then I play a little bit in a higher position on my pluck hand, and and I don't change a damn thing.
That's brilliant.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's just like, well, son of a bitch.
That's like the sound person who has a fader that does nothing.
Yeah.
But when people ask him or complain about something, they move that fader a little bit, and it sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. That's a thing, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's like seeing is believing, I guess. So
People tend to listen with their eyes,
yes,
and it's something you can take advantage of.
We played a talent contest, essentially. A battle of the bands. We played a battle of the bands.
Boo.
And, and before, we didn't care.
That was back before you had to pay to get in.
Yeah.
Like you paid like a small entry fee, like $5 or whatever.
It was
you didn't have to sell tickets or anything.
Oh yeah, like Guerrilla Productions.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that shit.
But we, before our set, I went up to the sound guy and told him, like, do me a favor, like, give me a little bit of reverb and a little bit of, like, tiny bit of reverb, tiny little bit, and push up the low end. And he's like, yeah, I don't do that. He's like, I don't care for that. I'm like, oh, well, when you're singing, then you should not do that. But I'm the one who's going to be singing. I don't look like an asshole. Push up my low end a little bit and give me a little bit of reverb. He's like, yeah, no, I don't care for that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And the guy got a fucking cowboy hat telling me this. And he's like, well, I think I know my job. I'm like, well, I think your job is supposed to make me fucking happy, and you're not doing it. So your job, you suck at. Like, give me some fucking low end and a little bit of reverb. And he's like, look, I got all these levels set the way I want them. I'm like, oh, okay. So I pushed all these fucking knobs at the top. I'm like, when you get done resetting that, give me like some low end and some reverb.
Fucking the Kraken is savage.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, the Kraken is the closest approximation to an actual rock star.
Yeah, pretty much.
In practice.
I was a terrible person back in Crown of Thorns.
Yeah, not like now at all.
Well, I had a whole stage persona of Thing Crosby, and that was just awful. Because I had bad stage fright back then, and I conquered it by just being aggressive and awful all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Hulk Hogan's Hulk Hogan all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I mean, we all kind of are. I mean, I'm amped up on stage, and, you know, I'm pretty mild-mannered, but I'm still a fucking one step away from being like, hey, what the fuck? You know? You know how it is. We're all that way. Even Jed over here.
Not me. I'm a sweetheart.
He turns into fucking, when he's not amped up, he's like a little prop engine plane instead of a jet.
Oh, I've seen some real adventures that involve him, and
Yeah, I hear things like this.
people arms flying around and people swearing and
let's not
sweat.
And let's not forget pulling your dick out.
I have no comment.
To climb the support pole in the middle of the room in his shorts, like suddenly he's like pulling. I go, nerds.
I was young and lied.
Dude,
I haven't.
one of those experiences was to me, and it was about 8 years ago. So young and whatever.
I haven't had my dick out in public for months.
We were rehearsing in like his dad's basement, and our friend Ugo pulled up out front across the street. He's really excited because he just bought a Mossberg. And we ran outside, and he like pulls this shotgun out of the trunk, turns around towards the forest, and like unloads 3 rounds. And he's like, "Oh, anybody live over there?" And we're like, "Well, not anymore." That guy was born to be a rock star.
Yeah. So anyway, back to music.
Yeah. You know, we've kind of tangented a lot here, which is awesome.
Nothing that we've said is actionable. It was all a long time ago.
Yeah, it's past the statute of limitations. Well, maybe not your dick in public. That's probably still.
Well, it wasn't exposed to anybody
The scars are still there.
Who would mind.
Right. Okay.
We were all friends.
So, where I was originally going with this was about your releases,
Penis.
which was about...
Talk about his dick and releases.
Yeah, right. Which was about 40 minutes ago. So, you've got 2 full-length albums. You've released how many EPs now? 5?
Oh, God, at least.
Supermassive. Supermassive 2.
Yeah.
Bruise Your Protrusion.
Exactly.
Big Blister Head. Because I only know that because I'm looking at your shirt.
Yep.
9 Days.
Keep going.
The Hand of Glory.
Which is the newest one.
But you also had Sand in the Gears.
Yep.
And Big Blister Head 2.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
How do I navigate out of this? I'm trying to look it up
Broke
on...
it.
I am going to look on my Bandcamp right now.
Yes.
Because I have
And there was the
images.
Orange EP, which is like 2 songs.
Yes.
Yep. Never a Tender Moment. Going from newest to
That's what
oldest.
I was thinking was Big Blister Head 2 was never a
Oh, it's
Tender
because
Moment.
it has Big Blister Head on the cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at it right here.
Also, my spouse, Kraken, who is also your best friend,
Kraken.
told me today
Kraken.
that they want more Blister Head.
Yes.
They want you to draw more Blister Head.
Yes, Blister Head.
Because I was
is-
talking about the album, and they were like, I love Blister Head. And I said, well, I tried to get the Kraken to draw some more, but nothing ever happened. And so Kat is very insistent that you do something
More
about
Blister
it.
Heads.
Yes.
Yes, more Blister Head.
But anyway.
I think it's great that on Never a Tender Moment, Blister Head is wearing a rifle shirt.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, I love that. That's great. And then, so 9 Days.
Yep.
That was one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a lot at this point.
Yeah, and we have the new one out too.
Anytime someone goes to pee, somebody writes a song. So it's
Yeah, at practice, if there's a lull, somebody will start playing a noodling with a riff, and somebody else will say, "Wait, play that again."
Right.
There's been times when they were like, when somebody noodles, then one jumps in, and then I'm over in the corner with, going through a binder trying to find lyrics.
Right. Now, your count earlier on songs, which most of those have been 5-song EPs, which seems to be the way
between
to go.
4 and 6 songs. Yeah.
And I think there was the one that was 6 songs, which is I believe Sand in the Gears has 6.
Yes.
Because it ends on
Godspeed, yeah.
And so the new one, The Hand of Glory, it just came out back earlier in the month.
Yep.
So you're technically in tour mode for Hand of Glory.
Yeah, we're in our big tour. We just had the opening show of the tour.
Yes.
And the final show of the tour will be at the end of the month.
Right. And the Hand of Glory hole.
We are right in the Hand of Glory hole right now. Yes.
Home stretch.
So I hate to say it because it's like you just did this, and I know you have more because there's Project.
We have Project, which is basically finished and just waiting to be released.
And you have songs that I have copies of because I beg you for them. Like Baba Yaga, which you've only played live. It's not on anything.
Nothing released.
Nothing released yet.
But we have...
What do you have in the tank?
We have
Universal Monster?
Universal Monster. That's a good one.
Bone Grinder's out now, isn't it?
Bone Grinder.
Bone Grinder out?
No, not songs. I'm talking like EPs.
We have 2
Midnight Mass is the one that...
2 finished that just are awaiting artwork.
Oh, The Cooler Out of Space.
The Cooler Out of Space.
Yes,
And,
which I have that.
Yeah.
And I love that song. And it's different from what I have because I have the first recorded version.
Yeah, you have a very early version. Yeah. And We had a name for the other one. Now I
The
can't
one
remember.
we're working on is Midnight Mass, and there's Cooler Space, and the one in between is
Tickle Fight.
Tickle Fight, yeah.
The Kraken hates Tickle Fight. I know he does. He's like, I hate that fucking name. Tickle Fight.
I can't remember what songs are coming out. So I mean, I remember.
Yeah, it's because we have all this stuff finished. We go through. We'll have a band meeting and we'll go through everything and decide what songs are going to go on what EP, and then it's all written down, and then I just forget which ones are on which record.
So can I propose something bold? So you technically have an album right now.
Yeah.
That's just there. Do a rifle double album. Double rifle. Dude,
we could do a double album.
This. Yeah. It would be like the shotgun from Phantasm. It would be 4 EPs packaged as a double album.
Right. We could release them all and then do like a special vinyl double album of the 4 EPs, because we already have 2 physical CDs, and each one of them is a collection of EPs.
Yes.
Yeah. So we could do something like that with the
that
vinyl.
would be awesome.
It would be. Yeah.
And I know he listens occasionally, and I'll tag him in it. Ben Jones.
Yeah.
Get on that shit.
That would be something to see. I would love that.
Yeah, that would be fucking amazing. And each, because it would be like a gatefold.
Yeah.
Each sleeve could have the individual artwork.
Yeah.
We got some good songs coming.
Yeah, you do.
Let the Fire Come.
Oh,
Like
that's
you
a good
said,
one. Yeah.
like I said, The Cooler Out of Space, Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga is.
I love Baba
That's
Yaga.
one of my favorites that we've done.
And that was going to be another lyric. The moon is a woman, and she's got fucking teeth.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna go out on a
Go
limb.
join your mothers in the sky.
Is
rule with terror from on high? Pity the poor men who cower beneath. The moon is a woman, and she's got fucking teeth. Yeah.
It's like, and then the end of it. Take to the skies.
Take to the skies.
And I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and because I know of 9 days, what 9 days is Baba Yaga about Valkyrie.
Baba Yaga, I had a friend, very special friend, who was really into Baba Yaga, who is this legendary Russian witch, and eating children and stuff, and had a house on a giant chicken leg hopping around. Lots of good stories. But the song is kind of a fantasy about this friend of mine who was so into Baba Yaga. It blends the real things that happen in this person's life into a epic fantasy. The whole idea of having chickens in the yard, that's actually a thing. So yeah, it's kind of about someone, but them on I don't know, imaginary testosterone.
It's about them if they were the Russian fairy tale.
Yeah.
Wow. See, that's pretty heavy. That is insane.
Yeah.
Wow. That kind of blows my mind right now, for real. Now I'm I want to play it on the way out today, because you heard it here first.
Nice.
3 years in advance. No, because you guys don't put things out. You put things out,
Whenever we feel like
whenever
it.
you feel like it. You're not under any schedule or time crunch.
And sometimes it'll get pushed back because we're trying to find some good artwork for the cover, or because we're too busy because we started writing new songs and recording again because
there's a lull in the
because we record where we rehearse. If we come up with something, there's been days at practice that turned into writing and recording an entire song when we should have been practicing for a show.
Yeah,
wow.
Start writing a song that day and record
have
it.
Finished, except for the final mixdown. It was finished
Holy
a couple
shit.
of hours later. Yeah.
That's insane. I love that.
Yeah.
Because, we're that way too. We write where we rehearse and all that shit, and other than, I write in here and shit like that and in this deal. But yeah, we do the same thing,
Nice, yeah.
And it's great. I love it because sometimes it just be like that.
Sometimes you start something and it just keeps going and before you know it, you're done.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I'm saying about, I've always said, you can't force creation, but once, you get into the fucking creating mindset, the inspiration that comes from it is limitless.
You can't force it, but you can get the hell out of the way when it comes.
Yes. Yeah. Very much.
You got to let it go. You got to let it come out and let it flow.
Yep. And yes, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And and that's another thing. The album covers. Because, you've got Never a Tender Moment, Big Blister Head. Those two kind of share similar artwork because it's artwork by the Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And then the newest is The Hand of Glory. And that is pretty epic. It's like a seance, and it's...
Yeah, it's basically a photograph that I made of a bunch of stuff from around our house.
But I mean, the way it looks, like with the wooden hand,
the hand and the lighting.
Skull.
I tried to make it as dramatic as possible with the lights and the candles and stuff. Yeah,
and whatever else is in there, and it's interesting.
There's some cool stuff in there.
There is, and it's just like, so what does this mean? And it's just a bunch of stuff from my house.
It's some of the stuff is actually just decorative stuff from the house, and some of it is not. Some of it is ritual tools, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's fun to sneak things in on people.
It
that
is
have meanings to you, like on I forgot the name of it now. Oh, Supermassive.
Supermassive. Yeah.
Supermassive. The brain, the psychedelic brain on there. That's a physical thing I made. I actually found a prop brain and made it psychedelic like that. With the fluorescent colors.
Yeah.
And that's. But the model is the model, like this muscular Viking lady that we know, is not actually holding it. But I put it in there with computers and stuff. So yeah, it's just this oily, muscular Viking lady with the brain and stuff. But the psychedelic brain just really had other meanings for me.
And that's another thing too. You guys are no strangers to using models on your covers either.
Yeah, we done it much with rifle though.
Yeah, yes, you've done the Speed of Doubt.
The Speed of Doubt, yeah.
And Big Scary.
Big Scary, both correct, yes. And those were both photographs that the Kraken made.
Yeah, all three of the ones with models I did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there was.
Well, he's a good photographer.
And Supermassive and Where's Your Patricia?
Yeah, Supermassive, and there was a Supermassive, and there was Big Scary. The hands and teeth thing, that's all the photos too.
Right, but I'm also saying Supermassive 2. Where's Your Patricia?
So technically that's 4 then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting. That's so cool. And now 9 Days is also a photo that
he did that.
You did that.
I did that, yeah.
Okay.
That was on my way to work, and I just happened to notice the moon in those clouds because I was on my way before the sun came up. And I was like, oh, I need to pull over and get a picture of that on my way to work. And where I happened to pull over was right across the street from where that tower is.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is going to be great. And then it was probably a year or more before we came up with the album. And I was like, what am I going to do for this? And I was looking through just old photographs. And I'm like, that's it.
Right.
So,
and it fits. It works.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about it. But the Orange EP, I mean...
that is a purely political statement.
I think it is.
It is. Yes.
Which I've... Hopefully, we might hear that song tonight.
Which one? There's 2 on the album. There's 2 on that EP. I guess you would call it a single.
It is a single, technically by industry terms.
Singles have 2 songs for some reason.
Yes, EPs have 4 to 6.
Yeah.
They're like cubes.
Yeah, they're cubes.
Let's Have a Riot.
Yeah, let's have a riot.
Because I don't think you've ever played it live.
I think we played it loud once.
Yeah, maybe
That I
once.
wasn't
Yeah.
at.
You weren't
And
there.
then the wrong fucking people had the riot. So
But yeah, the two songs on there are definitely politically oriented.
When I still remember that the first time I played that on the radio.
Yeah.
Let's Have a Riot.
Yeah.
Because my heart immediately sank. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, I thought I was gonna get fired from the radio station when the Kraken goes, "Look here!"
Look here, mother.
look here.
Yeah, and it cuts it. He just you cut out.
I made you a special radio edit just for that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Ugh." It was like right down to the millisecond. I was like, shit. Yeah, because, if you go, I think I turned Canadian there for a second.
Oh, beauty, eh?
If you go to, if you go back and listen to the archives, you're going to hear that song a lot in the radio episodes.
Yeah.
Where he does not say, "Look here, motherfucker! I'm all out of cheeks."
Yeah, I cut that down. The razor thin
Yes.
right there. Yeah,
you definitely were tape splicing.
I was this close to leaving in the.
That's a lyric thing with me. I like walking the tightrope between highfalutin bullshit and F-bombs.
Yeah,
If I can do them both at the same time,
You know what? I
But
don't.
Baba Yaga's got F-bombs in the chorus, so
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that song.
good song.
You're all fucked up, but you're still beautiful.
yeah, you're all fucked up, but you're beautiful.
Oh.
So yeah, I got. Sometimes I make a little list of how many which girls got how many songs. Because the lady for Baba Yaga also got Grass Widow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Grass Widow is inspired.
So
by her.
yeah, so we need to make like a chart here. We need to seriously make this chart and say, okay, so this person is also this person and this person. So it's like a trilogy of songs.
Goddamn Spanish Orange and Too Far Gone are off the same person.
I think you told me that before.
Lady friend of mine who drank herself to death, like literally drank herself to death.
Right.
And then, like Alchemist is straight up about someone who came by and stole my pain pills, but
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, someone just really, really missed me and got there and like, can I use your shower? Like, yes, please. Please use my shower. And then they,
Love of God,
and then they
use my
also stole
shower.
my pain medication. But they were nice. They only stole half. So
Well, that was sweet.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, don't steal this from me. So I'm gonna go ahead. We've been rolling for an hour and 18 minutes right now, which is awesome.
we're gonna have fun cutting this down. 'Cause we haven't
I'm
talked
not
about
cutting any of this shit down. I'm not cutting any of
Just
it.
like do 2 episodes then.
No, this is gonna be one episode.
It's gonna be one episode.
This will
Nice.
be one fucking episode, and this all stay in. So I have new questions that you have not.
Oh, good lord.
That you have not been asked on
need more
this
vodka.
program in the last 4 years.
I need more vodka if I got some more cuts.
Yes. Do you want more vodka?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop this for a second. We'll have some drinks, and we will be right fucking back.
Oh, it'll be beautiful.
The listeners will never know.
They'll
except
never
for me
know.
saying this. Yeah, like I said, we didn't go anywhere. No, fuck. We're still at an hour and 19 minutes. We didn't fucking do a thing.
Holy crap. That's a long time.
It is, but it's cool. So I'm going to ask you guys some different questions that hopefully nobody else has been asked yet.
I will try to have an answer that no one else has answered.
Good. This is stupid. I'm going to ask it because it's the one that's there, but I already know what the Kraken's answer is going to be. Would you rather have a reputation for being a liar or for being promiscuous?
Well, I already got one, so
At least you do to me, pal.
I don't do that much, lying. I don't have any use for it anymore. I just pretty much tell people, the truth, and they get mad and go away. So, truth is much better than lies, because I like it when people go away. And the promiscuous thing, that's kind of my thing.
He's already dealing with
that.
that.
That's my wheelhouse there. Yeah, I had this wheelhouse, and I fucked everybody in it. So, that little caretaker, he's gone.
I'd go with promiscuous because I don't.
Because you have a wheelhouse and you fuck everybody.
I don't have a wheelhouse, but there was a DJ booth for a while.
I'm old. I kind of came up and hit the scene in the 80s.
Yeah.
And back then we all had a lot of hairspray and we were convinced the world was going to end. So everybody was banging, like all the time. Parties descended into orgies half the time, and there was banging, and everybody had great hair, and there was a lot of sex and black clothes. And then the world didn't end, and we're like, oh, wow, we have so many stories now, and we can't look at each other. So back good. I never had a problem with the weirdness, but a bunch of other people...
Well, some people do, yeah.
Yeah.
And Louisville is not that big a town.
No,
it is not.
Especially when you're dealing with subcultures. And
yes.
There's only so many people in the subculture, and...
Yes. That is very, very, very true. And, yeah.
And you walk into some place and you're like, oh, hi.
It's like you walk into a place and you're like, I know those two. I know those two have been together. I know those two have been together. I know those two have been together. I know I've been together with this one, this one, this one, and this one, too. Jesus. Jeez. Fuck.
I had someone like in my face once, like, what is it with you? Is it like the joy of the hunt, the thrill of the hunt for you, isn't it? You're just like, gonna get one and move on. I'm like, no, it's not like thrill of the hunt. I don't want to hunt at all. If someone would drop it off on the porch, that'd be great. Like get it with like the morning milk in the paper. But I don't want to hunt. That's a lot of energy. I just want to bang and bang and bang.
What part of town
it doesn't bother me that I'm like banging
getting
people.
morning milk?
Yeah, where are you getting milk delivered from,
No
Papa?
shit.
Well, there was a dude, when I lived in New Albany, who would just come by and put milk on the porch.
Just come by and milk me
I
on
mean,
the
it was
porch.
milk, I had a guy living across the street from me with a bunch of Russian assault weapons.
Yeah.
Kalashnikovs.
Interesting guy. Yeah, he had a Moisen Nagant and a Kalashnikov, yeah.
So, speaking of, government shit, Russian assault rifles, government assassination shit. I know you all are pretty strong on the fucking, on the whole deal. So this sucks. This question sucks, but I'm going to ask it. Because if it's a would you rather, the government put barcodes on your wrists or microchip you?
Barcodes.
Yeah.
Because I can scrape that shit right off.
Yes.
I'd go with a barcode because, in 5 years they're going to replace the chip with something else, so I got to keep getting cut. But
that's true.
I'm not one of those people who's paranoid about... everybody gets upset about getting tracked online and all that shit. I'm like, well, I don't care. I don't give a shit if you know what toys I'm buying. I don't care if I'm going to a porn site or to like some crazy leftist shit. I'm not ashamed of the things that I do.
Right.
They're collecting your face on facial recognition. I'm like, do you have a fucking driver's license? Right. They've got your face.
Well, see, and this was my thing with like 23andMe or Ancestry.com type stuff. Yeah. And it's like, there's not ever going to be a chance that the fucking government's going to just turn around and subpoena those records. And then have everybody who's ever...
I got my DNA anyway. I got arrested once, so,
Exactly. But that's exactly what I was going to say, too, is if, you've had any surgery or any shit, any fucking medical records, they know they've got your DNA from that.
And that's amazing. Only been arrested once. Had a lot of interactions with law enforcement, but only been arrested once.
Never been arrested. Nope.
Same.
Yep.
Same. Never been arrested.
Should have been.
Almost got beat by a
I did get beat.
He did.
You have been?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
holy hell. It's hilarious. Someone gave me tickets to see Van Halen back in the day. And I didn't like Van Halen back in the day. I'm like, well, whatever the fuck, I'll go. And I was right down front, and they were put on a crappy show, and David Lee Roth was being a complete cunt. And I'm like, man, I hate this guy. He's a cunt. And so after the show, I'm wandering around, and they played at Louisville Gardens, so it's downtown.
I love that
walking
place.
around. I love that place. And I went down the alley because I wanted to go tell David Lee Roth he's a big cunt. And I'm down there, this lady cop comes up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm hanging out. There was a show." And she's like, "Put your hands on top of your head." So I put my hands on top of my head. She got a flashlight in my face, and she starts patting me down, and then she shoves her hand down the front of my. Well, actually, she pulled my pants, like the waistband of my pants and my underwear, and was shining the flashlight down into my underwear for a while. And it started to get awkward after a while, and I got my hands on my head thinking, don't say it. Don't say it. And finally I'm like, looking for anything particular or just shopping around? And that fucking flashlight came across my temple.
Oh my God.
And I hit the ground, and there were stars, and she hit me so hard that I had the giggles. And so I lay on the concrete, and I can't quit giggling. And she's like, "Stop fucking laughing!" and kicking me, and I'm like still giggling, and giggle. And she's kicking the shit out of me. "Please, officer, don't kill me." So she just kicked the shit out of me while I'm laying there, and then left me there. I think I was way young, laying there on the pavement, thinking, "Man, I love the big city." I'm like, I gotta get out of Indiana. I love this city. This is amazing. Things don't happen to you back home. Back home, they just shot me.
Yeah.
Right. No shit. And just for reference for people listening out there, that what Kraken is referring to is, back in the late 70s, early 80s, Louisville it's pretty much its own entity, while Jeff, Clarksville, and New Albany, right across the river, were as well. Like, now it's kind of like we're all just suburbs of Louisville.
Yeah, it's all one big metropolis.
Yeah, people, when I grew up over in Jeffersonville, and people fucking hated Louisville.
Yeah.
Just hated it.
Yes. I ain't crossing that bridge for nothing. Yeah, I didn't lose anything over there. Yeah, I know. I know those people. Would you rather have to memorize the dictionary or the Holy Bible?
Oh, Holy Bible, because at least it's some prose. The dictionary.
At least you can write
way
about
too
it.
many notes and things.
Dictionary.
And commas.
Dictionary, because when I was young, I used to literally read the dictionary.
Really?
I still at home have two different editions of unabridged dictionaries. That they're two of my favorite books. Yeah.
And my favorite Bible quote: "Behold, I come quickly."
Yes. So
put that one right next to Jesus.
So let me ask, what is an abridged dictionary?
One that is limited. It doesn't have a lot of words.
Definitions.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It leaves a lot of words out. It's the most popular words or the most used words. So, like the little pocket dictionary that you got in high school is an abridged dictionary.
Interesting. See,
the unabridged dictionaries I have are huge. They're the size of like a King James Bible or the complete works of Shakespeare. They're big.
Right.
Yeah.
They got a lot of words.
They got a lot of words. Yeah.
Do you often use them still?
I use the word occasionally. Yeah. No. Ever since the internet became a thing, I rarely crack open a paper dictionary.
I get it.
Because there's a
lot of times, as soon as you start typing in the word, the meaning pops up right after it.
And there's a site called onelook.com, which will look up the word across like a whole lot of online dictionaries.
Interesting.
Yeah. And sometimes I just draw just a complete blank. Because sometimes my brain just doesn't sizzles. And I go to thesaurus.com or thesaurus.com or whatever the fuck it is. And it helps with songwriting. It helps with a lot of stuff.
It can, yeah.
Because sometimes I'm trying to turn a phrase and get something to rhyme. And I'm like, what are other ways of saying this? It's like when I wrote Murder Drinking. I just essentially went on a search of terms for being drunk.
Yes, absolutely.
And I got a bunch of English ones, and they were all a lot more fun than the American ones.
Right. And that song I love because it's fucking like Ace of Spades. It's like fucking Paranoid. It's 2.5 minutes of kick you in the nuts. Fucking it's heavy.
And it's
And it's right in your face with the lyrics. You don't have to guess what it's about.
It's a sort of a dare song because somebody said the phrase
murder drinking.
They were talking about us as a band and how much we drank, and they said the words murder drinking, and I'm like, well, that's going to be a song.
And he's like, yeah, you have until next practice to have a song, and I did.
He came in with the words.
Somebody goes.
Battered, gathered 3 sheets to the wind, in the horrors, pissed drunk, wrecked again.
Murder drinking.
Murder drinking.
And then, of course, did I have a family once? I cannot recall.
They got tired of waiting up for me until last call.
If I'm drinking with my friends?
I drank to all my friends, and I'm drinking by myself. I got all the friends on here on the bottom shelf. And it's funny, when we recorded it, the drums didn't drop out, but it got to the point where Kenny just really felt the need to drop those drums out for that part because he really likes that line. He likes to drop it out and go.
He's like, I want to hear him say.
Yeah, and he wants to be part. He's like really part of that moment.
It is a thing. It is like it is one of those lines that it just punches you right in the face. I drank through all my friends, and now I'm drinking by myself. And being a cheap drunk, you're drinking the bottom shelf shit. You're drinking the fucking bourbon, Kentucky Gentleman.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had 2 different friends who literally drank. Well, one drank themselves literally to death, and the other one drank themselves out of everything and then got murdered. But
shit.
For 75 cents, they had 75 cents in their pocket. They got murdered for it. So I got a lot of song fuel out of those 2.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it seems like that's a big deal with your writing, that you do seem to get a lot of, your life experience is what you write about. Whether it be your friends, your, things that you see, things that you have done, which is ultimately what I think defines heavy memusic. It doesn't necessarily have to be like super fucking distorted vocals and guitars and growly vocals and shit like that. It can be fucking lyrically heavy and be super fucking heavy, like Goddamn Spanish Orange is a heavy fucking song.
Yeah,
I find writing like intensely personal and ugly lyrics like that. I find that much easier than one thing I can't write a happy song. Really hard. I've tried desperately to write happy songs, especially when I wasn't in this band. I'll try to write a bunch of happy songs. I thought maybe I can do a dance album, and I can't write happy songs. I can write love songs, which are not necessarily happy songs. I can write those, but I don't. And
yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Shut up, you.
No.
So the really,
I'm just going from
the really punch you in the throat stuff, like emotionally, I can write easily. Happy songs, really hard for me. Political songs, I write all the time and then throw them away because it's really hard to write political songs and not sound like a total tool.
Right.
Because
that's why I don't sing about it.
It's really hard to do it and not seem like a complete Nimrod. I've written a lot of political songs that no one ever saw.
Yeah, and we've got so far we've recorded 2 of them.
Yeah, it's like Let's Have a Riot and Rise Up with a Fist.
The Orange record, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wrote 2 for you.
Yeah. Yes, 1984 and Madame Guillotine.
Actually, I wrote 1984 for me, and then thought, I can't make this work. Mark can make this work. I'm like,
like I said earlier, give me the shittiest band in town.
I'm like, my head is not going anywhere. The lyrics I had, but as far as a melody or what to do with it, I'm like, my head won't do this.
Right.
I know someone who will.
Right, and I think I had given you some lyrics that haven't been used yet.
It's true.
Yeah, and it's my kind of.
I didn't show it to him because I didn't want him to fire me. So.
Oh wow!
I didn't want him to I'll just get Mark to write songs for us from now on.
No,
I wouldn't fire you.
No,
I'd completely ghost you. You'd show up at a rifle show. That'll be $5, sir.
Now, lately, my lyrics have gotten a lot less throat punchy because I'm getting to the point where it's like, I've said pretty much everything I want to say. Now I just want to have fun. So I'm writing stories about monsters and boobs.
Universal monsters.
Yeah. And Universal Monster is literally about this. It's about a girl from way back, but it's also about Universal Monsters because I used to watch The Fright Night, and there was this the same girl that's in The Girl at the End of the Lane. It's the same girl, and the whole idea of hot, sweaty nights, watching horror films, and going out and banging in the graveyard. I mean, these were real things, and she was gothy and didn't know it because she just hated the sun and wouldn't go out. So she was chalk white, black hair, black clothes. And where she lived, they didn't really know from goth. She just knew she didn't like anybody, and she didn't like the sun. So she carried a parasol and wore black clothes all the time.
Wow. See, and that's like...
And then there's the crazy girl sex. So, But yeah, I got 2 songs about her, because the same girl that's in Universal Monster is the girl that's in Girl at the End of the Lane, which I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah.
I think I kind of like those lyrics. I don't like much of what I write. I hate most of what I write, because it's just never what I meant. It's like, I didn't mean to do that. I meant something else to come out.
Yeah.
There's the few songs that I actually like of mine, I like a lot. But most of them I just like, meh.
He brings lyrics for songs, and he's like, I don't know. And we're reading them, and like, these are great.
Yeah.
I don't know what your problem is. This is a great song.
So, out of few that you like, what is one? Do you feel comfortable sharing?
Elysium.
Okay.
Grant's Widow. Which is funny because I worked on it, hated it, and finally I'm like, it worked, finally. And Grass Widow was, there's bits of other songs I've been working on for years that fell into that.
That's always nice when that happens. As a writer myself, as a lyric writer, when you've got 4 or 5 lines and you're just like, shit, where do I go from here?
Empty Houses was something that I've been working on for years and just put on the back burner, and then when you played that riff that you hated, he played this thing, and we're like, do it again. He's like, no. And then he really didn't like it, and he's like, this song's not working. And then he put the little tweedly thing in there between what we were doing, and then it all started working out. Because he just really didn't like it. And I really like that song a lot. I like the music. It's easy to sing. It's another one of those songs where I got a lot of space to run around, and I can catch my breath and decide what I'm going to do with it and emote however I want to. And
because you do the guitar fuck on stage in that, right?
I don't know what you mean.
Where you and
the Rex.
Yes.
The
The Rex.
And we drag our strings across each other.
Yeah.
And I've written more than one song that are pretty much, the idea is, it's back before we even called it toxic masculinity. There are songs where I write from that point of view, but I also tend to make fun of the person singing it.
Right.
There was I went to a show in Cincinnati, and this is like gonna laugh out loud funny, but it was fucking Counting Crows. And they had they had a song on their album that was really popular with the fanboys who went to their shows. That was essentially a guy telling a girl, "No, you don't love that dude. You need to be with me. I'm much better for you." And it's a really catchy song, and all the guys dug it. And when I saw them play it, I dug it too. When I saw them play it, they threw in a whole soft bridge where it was the girl responding to the guy.
Whoa.
And essentially, she the last line she says is, she says, "You don't know me. You 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 don't know me." And it just keeps getting higher, like with the her singing, like, "You don't know me," and like on, and all the guys in the crowd are like melting into those puddles of despair. It's this girl like saying, "You don't know me," and I'm like, wow. And that's when like the whole idea of like understanding how toxically masculine so many song lyrics were. So I wrote them on purpose that way to essentially make fun of that, because Elysium, the guy's kind of a douche, essentially. There's other songs I've written that come at it that, oh my god, the one, that's that one's that song is essentially like I'm a douchebag. I really like the lyrics, but they really make fun of anybody that's in that headspace.
Yeah.
So okay, so you've got some of those that you like, but you say you pretty much hate everything that you write. Even if you still play it,
Well,
what is the
Worry
song?
About Me? I like that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I love that song. You know, and it's great. You know, the whole like bridge vocal piece. You know, the whole culmination. You know, I'm getting secret messages from white noise on TV. You know, something in the closet just made contact with me. I screamed until my lungs were raw, but I still heard and I still saw.
Because I was trying to write, you know, a song about mental illness and its effect on relationships.
Yeah.
But the song descends deeper into mental illness at the end. But I want to write real mental illness, not, you know, why I put on a Joker costume and shut up a city. Just essentially, I've become disassociated.
Right.
The TV is talking to me. Because I've seen people who've been that nutty. Where the furniture is talking to them. And, and it never has anything to say that you want to hear.
Exactly.
Almost any time you're hearing voices, they never have anything nice to
Never
say.
listen to the couch.
Yeah.
Fucking couch lies.
It does, really.
Yeah, it
I
does.
mean,
Couches are bitches.
so what is a song that even if you still play it, that you just do not like?
That I wrote?
That you wrote? Yeah.
I'm so fixated on Lightning Days, the song that no one is ever going to hear because
'cause
none
that
of us
one's
liked it.
true.
The lyrics were terrible. It sounded it was not. It didn't sound like us.
Yeah, it went. We
That
did.
one.
We
The whole
recorded
time we're
it.
recording it,
It's
we're all like,
done.
oh.
It's a finished and mastered song, and
It's hidden away forever.
and finally we were like, no.
Can you send it to me?
no, you can't hear it.
Come on.
No, it's not redeeming at all.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Someday
Will it let
I'll.
me hate the band?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Then
Someday
I really need it then.
Someday I'll let you hear like a few seconds of it.
And it'll go, "Nip." And that'll be it.
No, it's really not. I don't think that it's a terrible song, but it's not a rifle song.
It's not a rifle song, and it's not a great song.
It's not a great song. It's not the worst
See,
song.
that's the
so
thing. If
much.
you swing for the fence all the time, when you don't connect, you're going to put it right in the dirt. And we put that one in the dirt. We were swinging for the fence, and we put that one in the dirt, and it hit somebody and broke their shin.
You know, and I know how much the Kraken loves Lars. So,
Oh, my Lars story. Woo.
dude, no, but the funniest thing about it is like when they're in some kind of monster, he sits there and says, he's like, "What's the worst piece of shit that I've ever heard? And it's never leaving this room." And that's when you were like, "Oh no, we put this straight in the fucking dirt." And I was like, that's immediately what I thought. I was like, "It's the worst piece of shit I've ever heard. It's never leaving this room."
My spouse met, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but my spouse met Lars at a gallery opening in New York City. And he was introducing himself and full of himself, and she looked at him and says, "What's a Metallica?" And he kept going on and on. She's like, "No, I haven't heard of you." And he just could not get it into his brain that she had not heard of him.
What?
And then you're like,
What do you mean?
And she's explaining, he explained the band to her, and she's like, "Wow, that really sounds like shit." Is it as bad as it sounds? Because that sounds like a really shitty band.
I love your spouse. She is so fucking hilarious.
And she's seen so many bands that I didn't see in a very small...
Right.
Because, going to school right there in Manhattan, she saw a lot of bands.
Oh,
These
fuck yeah.
Did CBGB's and the other two places whose names I can't remember. Plus the dance club that was in the old church.
Yeah.
All the fun stuff.
That reminds me of a friend of my brother's. He was stationed in 29 Palms.
Oh God.
In El Toro, California, when he was in the Marines.
Yeah.
And he graduated in '93 and shipped out that June to his deal, right?
Right.
And it was just really cool because that's when like Sublime and all No Doubt and The Offspring and all those bands were just like really taking off.
Right.
And he was out there and saw all of those bands. And
Nice.
And that's a total cool deal here.
My spouse used to drive across the bridge to Jersey where it was cheap and see Misfits all the time.
Right.
Because it was cheap. The beer was cheap, and you could like ignore the band, and because it was Misfits. But at CBGB's, like she's all like Blondie and multiple times Blondie, Talking Heads, Ramones, all these in the small space. And the shit that drove me crazy is that she'd seen Television, and who else was it? These really niche bands that never came around here.
Right.
Oh, the Dead Boys and
Oh, God.
and the Lords. She saw Lords of the New Church and she saw the Dead Boys. So she saw Cheetah Chrome and all that shit going on.
Jeez.
Yeah, Dead Boys. Two bands that I would just fucking kill to see: Dead Boys and the New York Dolls.
Right.
I would stomp on your dick to see.
We
the New York
suck.
Dolls.
We didn't see anybody like that.
Oh, we saw Alien Sex Fiend.
Well, we
the
did
show
see-
of all time.
That was amazing. That was an amazing show.
It was an amazing show. Nick Fiend is possibly the greatest front man of all time.
Oh my God.
He drank himself nearly into a coma and put on one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Wow.
They had a stage prop. They put like a little booth at one of the stage with a guy dressed up like a monster inside it. And Nick would have to go and trade items of his clothing for alcohol or cigarettes. They didn't say it, but we could tell what was going on. He'd like go give the guy a jacket to do with give him a drink or a cigarette. And he was running out of clothes, so he's hanging off the stage on his belly trying to bum cigarettes off people in the crowd.
What would be worse? That you cannot play music or listen to music anymore?
Not listening would be worse. I think not listening would be worse because I've always listened. I haven't always been able to play, and if I can't play anymore, I think I would still be comforted by being able to listen
Okay.
because there's so much music to listen to, and yeah, I think I could deal with that.
Absolutely.
If you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably change my mind.
I get that.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to music. I mean, music was always in the house and like really great stuff. And my mother played really well on the piano, would not teach me for some stupid fucking reason. Probably because she's insane.
There's a reason.
She was insane.
Yeah.
She didn't like me very much. But that's not true. She was insane, but she liked me a lot. Kind of creepy. But she could play piano really well, and she was very artistically talented and a nut. But yeah, I grew up like all the time. Ray Charles and Johnny Rivers and a bunch of stuff like that. Obscure Elvis albums, like the country album he did, 100,000 Years, whatever it was, that creepy shit. But there was always music in the house. She had a lot of great 45s and a little bucket that I listened to, Rolf Harris and shit like that.
Rolf Harris.
Someone's pinch me winkles. But yeah, there was always music in the house.
So yeah,
So,
so listening would be the.
Listen, I could not.
Like if you couldn't sing anymore,
I can't sing anymore. I can't sing any less. I mean, I can. I can play like Dick Hare's width of keyboard, and I can sing passably. But I couldn't do without having music in my life because part of it is I have ADHD and I have to have something happening around me all the time.
Right.
And music fills space around me. And,
I get that.
And the music is also a lot. Music spiritually, I always have music around for any kind of spiritual thing I'm doing. I really like having that. And music, emotionally, messes me up. I have weird cues on strange songs that'll make me weep like a child.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. Songs that shouldn't make anybody weep like a child. The Lion Sleeps Tonight makes me cry because I was always amazed by those high notes. But also, it was on a 45 when I was a little kid in the house.
Right.
So there's that emotional attachment.
Yeah, and I get that. There's things that I'm that way with, too. Like The Lost Highway by Hank Williams Sr.
Mm.
Oh, dude, it hits me hard.
Yeah.
And it's not just because it's like the country twang of his voice, and no, it's what he is singing about. That I totally get that.
I'm so lonesome I could cry. It's a gut punch of a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much it is.
What's the saddest song in the world?
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
You Are My Sunshine.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That is the saddest song in the world. Everyone sings it like it's a happy song.
Yeah.
It is not.
Really?
The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping.
Okay, come on.
I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. And I hung my head and I cried.
That's a sad fucking song.
That's sad.
That is the saddest song.
Wow. I have that on recording now. So now, that, yeah. Now we have...
Well, it's in the public domain, so do as you wish.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's an old song, yeah.
An old song.
Yeah.
It's
old-timey.
I really enjoy harmonizing with him, man. Back in the day when it was him and me and Malady Adroit.
Yep.
Really great mix. So, there's actually Elysium and This Hole. No, This Hole was from Fruit Bat. That's right.
Yeah, This
but
Hole's
Elysium was an innocent song.
It's from what? Fruit Bat.
Fruit Bat. Fruit Bat.
Everybody's gonna hate us for that.
One of the names we threw around was Schutz. But you had to say it that way or it didn't count.
Which do you like more? Recording or being in the studio or playing live?
That's not a fair question. Because I when I'm recording, I want to go play live. But when I'm playing live, I was like, I want to go record some more songs. But I'm going to say I would rather play live because over the last 3 years, we have done way more recording than playing live.
Right. Well, and aside from the COVID thing, aside from that, but you also, health issues as you've gotten older, health issues as you've been younger.
I've always had health issues.
Yeah.
I'm fucking clumsy and I abuse my body like a madman. So
yeah. I mean, you are one of the hardest living people I know, and it's just from not from like drinking or.
Well, I don't live that hard now, but my God.
Before you got married,
I am constantly surprised that everyone in our band is still alive.
Really?
The insane amount of injuries my body has suffered.
He is broken.
My spine is broken in 2 places. I fractured my skull twice.
We need to do this as a special Patreon thing. I'm going to take a picture of the Kraken and
take a picture of my X-rays.
Piece them together like a full body X-ray.
I got back from my honeymoon from my first wedding and my friend took me rock climbing and I fell off a cliff and bounced when I hit it. It was hilarious.
Oh, Jesus!
But I broke a bunch of ribs and I broke my arm and they told me that my ribs weren't broken. They were. Because I coughed 2-3 days later and they fell off. Literally fell off and started poking me in the lung, but front and back. But I had broken my arm. I could see a piece of bone floating around. And a nurse would not authorize an x-ray because I could move my fingers. I'm like, you realize that my forearm does not have anything to do with what's happening in my hand. You have had anatomy, right? You're a fucking nurse. So I didn't get the x-rays, but months later, actually about a month and a half later, we were rehearsing in the basement of Sparks.
Yeah.
And we had cabinets on the floor, monitors on the floor. And I tripped over a monitor and fell and hit on my forearm. And I had like a wedge of bone that was sticking out. But it had grown and nothing fit anymore. And I fell and reset the bone into my arm by falling onto the concrete.
Yeah.
And I stood up and looked at them and vomited into the trash can because it hurt so bad. But you can't even feel the seam anymore. I shoved that broken bone back in there.
Yeah.
Vomit.
Oh man, I had a Melissa reset my broken nose that one night.
Yeah.
A lot of blood.
Shit. Oh my god.
I've broken my nose 4 times. So.
Well, see, that's what I want to do. I want to get a picture of the Kraken here, and I want to go through and like put like the little
diagram with the line pointing to each part of his body,
poking into each part of his body.
That,
what he's
creased there. Right? That's the first serious skull injury I had.
The first,
yeah.
But yeah, that reminds me of a thing that Vince McMahon from WWE told when he was trying to sell the Gold Dust Razor Ramon angle from back in the day, where he was androgynous, as he quotes as how he used to say it, and he goes. Razor, let me tell you about my first homosexual experience. And then, apparently he's like, what, as opposed to your most recent? Which was like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, my first head trauma, as opposed to your most recent. Yeah, yes. Like, breaking your arm, your hand surgery, it was a detached retina.
Oh, no, it was a... blown out retinal artery.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I broke 4 fingers at once.
Jesus.
When I was 2. I've broken the bones, the back of my thumb, both thumbs. Broken 1 foot and several toes on both feet. Fractured my skull. I've got multiple.
It's breaking that second foot on your other foot that gets me.
Yeah,
because he broke 1 foot and several toes on both feet.
Yeah, breaking toes is easy.
Oh yeah,
right.
I right before I went on vacation, I broke my toe right before had to go to Italy, and everything is walking there.
Yes,
and like the day before we flew, bam, and that thing like a big purple Vienna sausage. Oh, to go walking all over the goddamn country like that.
Gross.
You nasty mojo.
Yeah, and I mean, and Jet, you're no stranger to the surgical knife.
No,
you just recently had a surgery.
I just recently had a surgery. Yeah, and still not 100% after that one, but I'm getting there.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's lucky that you have like a 7-pound guitar amp.
I know
that you still didn't have to carry, right?
I think I carried it out to the car when we loaded. To come to the venue, it literally only weighs 12 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And I'm allowed to pick up that now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pick that up with this foreskin.
Oh.
Now, Malady was there when I got MRSA after a thoracic surgery.
God.
You told me
turned
about
into gangrene.
Yes.
And my sternum turned to juice, and they had to pull up part of it out, but.
And
that was the day
right up by your face or some shit.
Yeah, when they cut, the pus came shooting out, and it was horrifying. But yeah, like a big fist of pus right there, smelling like death. But they had cut me open and left me that way for like almost a week, like with my ribs. And I walked into the bathroom and saw my heart and lungs. I'm like, I'm going back to bed now. But
it was quite interesting to see inside of him.
Right.
They were cleaning me out one day, and after they left. Now he looked at me, he's like, dude, I just saw your spine. I never really wanted to be that intimate with you.
Damn.
Seeing my spine from the front, it's kind of epic.
That is. See, that's hardcore. Like, holy shit. That's insane. I guess that's where they tried to, where it's like open healing or some shit.
Well, they had scraped me from the spine forward to throw away all the dead meat because of all the
from the gangrene.
For the gangrene and the infection. They cut out everything I didn't need. They cut off. They took away part of my sternum and part of my ribs, and they took a torch to them and burned them, to cauterize them,
right,
to stop the rot. And that was fun because twice a day they would reach into my chest and pull my ribs back and take the packing out. Ugh. And they would do that before the pain medication. Because they said, well, your surgeon said they want me to monitor your response. I'm like, my response is always going to be the same. So they would move shit around, and at one point they would eventually bump one of those burnt ribs, and I would say, and then they would fill me full of dilaudid and hydrocodone.
Oh my gosh!
And kids, dilaudid. Yeah, I'm big fan.
It's big fan.
Good
stuff. Very good stuff.
I had a main line in, so they would shoot it like into the IV, but it would come out in my heart. And it was so powerful, you could feel it move out of your heart into your body.
That's a weird
Yeah,
feeling.
the dilated going right in my heart and moving out into my arteries. I'm like, oh, this is a beautiful moment of bliss and then sleep.
That's wow.
Yeah. And that's what it's like to be a rock star.
Right? To live the life of a Kraken.
But we did a show at 3rd Street, and there was some band there. We were opening for... There's 3 bands, and we were opening from some young band from Ohio. It was kind of emo and kind of jangly.
The Jericho Harlot.
No.
It sounds close.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was all 3 of us.
Was it?
Yes.
I don't remember that name.
Yeah.
There's a lot I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, because I remember that show.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that show because they on the Metal Forge TikTok page, it's currently deactivated. We follow each other, and that was the only band from up there that I think we've ever played with.
Oh, yeah.
We only played with like maybe one other one.
Well, I was having some lung throat issues for that show, so I got a pack of the steroids, and the first dose of that is 5 pills.
Yes.
So I had that, and I had an anxiety pill and a pain pill. And I went up to the bar and ordered a gin. And one of the kids from the band, this other band are all giving a shit about being old anyway.
They were laughing.
He was
at
up there
us.
too with his pain and back shit. So I like plopped out 5 steroids, a hydrocodone, an anxiety pill, and I had a glass of gin. And I took the pills with the gin. And the guy's like, "Please tell me that was water." I'm like, "No, it's gin." And I waved to him. He's like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" He was really angry. Like, we're kind of serious, and you guys just like dicking around. And then we opened for them and blew them, and like just fucking threw down that night. It was a great show.
Yeah.
And afterwards, like, "Man, you guys are like some Motorhead shit. Like, you're like full of chemicals and alcohol, and you're like still upright and rocking. How do you do that?" And Jet says, "We're professionals."
Holy shit. And I miss those days, honestly. The Overload Your Rifle Christmas tour.
Oh, God.
Where we played fucking like 3 shows in 2 months together.
That was fun, though.
It absolutely was. But yeah, those were like, as fucking Archie and Edith would say, those were the days.
Those were the days.
Well, it's fun playing with Overload. We don't sound anything alike. And
Right.
It's a weird bill because we don't sound anything alike, but we all have a good time and everybody gets along.
Yeah.
But, and the thing about it is it's like, I try to play Overload songs like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try this like the Kraken would do. And then it still comes out. I brought that in here too, by the way.
Snuck up on me. Like it does.
I'm fueling the Kraken.
What the hell? Well, we've got plenty of songs
Just
about
finish it.
about alcohol abuse because even before I joined, there was No Tomorrow, which is the very first thing I ever sang live with the band.
Yeah.
It's great because there was no announcement that I had joined the band. I just got a bunch of people I knew to show up at the show, and I was sitting down front in the chair.
We were playing that show, and I was like, "You didn't even tell me. You
No, I didn't. I told nobody.
Yeah, you kayfabed me even, and I was just like,
help him with Cold, which has got a lot of guitar going on, and he just starts talking about whatever it was, and then says, "And our new singer."
yeah,
And then it went straight into No Tomorrow, and I hopped up with my little Santa hat on, and we jammed.
yep,
And people that were there who didn't know that I had invited were like really angry with me. Like, why are you angry? I'm singing. What the hell?
no shit. I have pictures from that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Jet's wearing the Santa hat
And the cape.
and the cape.
Yep. I missed that, Kate.
You didn't hear me Saturday when you all were checking.
Yeah.
I kept going, hey, hey.
And there was the whole, now don't forget, No Tomorrow has 4 verses, not 3.
That's right.
I forgot.
Totally forgot.
What large music festival would you most want to play?
I don't know. I don't want to play a large music festival. I don't even want to go to most of them. I know there's a huge one coming up later this year that I believe we booked for October.
Yeah.
It's like this
Friday
this
the 13th.
giant fucking rock show or something like that.
I think it's the Big Goddamn Metal Show.
The big
No,
god.
that's
That
not-
doesn't sound
is it?
familiar.
No.
No.
No?
The big goddamn metal show. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 2-day show.
It is.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, we're gonna be tired.
We are
yeah,
gonna be
you're
tired.
playing.
Yeah.
You're playing everybody's sets. You're playing 13 times.
Yeah.
We have enough songs for that.
We
so-
can do
Yeah,
that.
no repeat weekend.
Every weekend of Rifle.
It's like when someone says, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you a 30-minute slot." We're like, "What the fuck do we play?" Shit,
30 minutes.
trying to
So-
figure out what to put in there.
So speaking of no repeat weekends,
Yeah.
Temptations Wings, who's playing the show at Magbar with you guys tonight.
Yeah.
By the time this airs,
Check local listings.
check local listings. Yeah, they are supposedly doing a no repeat weekend for themselves also.
Oh, are they? Nice.
Yes, because they're also playing the sequel show, which is One Wild Night 3 Uncompromised at Losers 812 with Wild Ride, Overload, American Bombshell, and Temptations Wings.
Temptations Wings.
$10 both nights each. $10 each night, not for both. That's the big goddamn metal show later in the year. But no, tonight and tomorrow, my 40th birthday parties.
Hell yeah.
Fucking, I'm gonna party out all weekend. This is the last of my 30s. And
I guarantee you, 40 is a lot easier than 39.
yeah,
Because you spend your 39 is just like 29. You spend all the time going, "Oh, I'm gonna be 40," and then you're 40. And like, "Oh, I didn't die, and nothing fell off."
well, and that's kind of the thing too that I've noticed is like, how I told how we were talking earlier about how just like turning up the juice right on stage and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And it's essentially just a more amped up version of yourself. And
Right.
I think I've really, in the last couple of years, especially since moving to New Albany and, being out on my own, single fucking 40-year-old guy, bachelor, what the fuck ever, is sitting there and, I totally live like a fucking single dude does. It's like,
I lived as a single dude in New Albany, and I fucking loved it.
yeah. And it's like, yeah, I can still wear this shirt. Sniff the shirt. It's like, it's okay.
That's clean enough.
I'm the douchebag that does a bunch of laundry. I don't like to put it away, but I'll wash shit all damn day long.
Well, see, that's me too. That's another thing. It's like you can walk into the fucking laundry room right now, and there's fucking 2 hampers in there, and the fucking dryer's fucking. And then I gotta rewash some of the shit because my cat fucking lays on it. Like, you motherfucker, what are you doing?
I had a great house here in New Albany, and everything was going fine. I did not mean to meet this person and fall in love with them. That was a complete fucking accident. Neither of us were looking at that because I had it going on.
Well, see, that kind of got announced just like you're joining Rifle.
Yeah.
That like banging the titty monster, or
No, like all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'm married now. It's like, what?
we didn't invite anybody, but
Yeah. But you do look dashing in the pictures.
well, we we would never have gotten married because we thought living in sin is much more romantic. But insurance is a thing, and their insurance is much better than my not insurance. So
Absolutely.
Right. Very true.
we'd have lived in sin the whole time. Now the
That sounds like
the
a Rifle
engagement,
song.
the proposal thing was amazing. It was really, really tugging at the heartstrings. But
No.
Aw. That sounds like a Rifle song title. Living in Sin.
Living in sin.
Or Live in Sin.
Start writing it.
Start writing it. You got until Sunday.
I got riffs.
That's what I write about monsters.
I got riffs for days.
Like all I write about now is like monsters and boobies. I mean, I've done all this serious stuff, and it's like I just want to make myself happy because I hurt my head trying to write good enough for the people that are going to judge it. And now I'm like, I just don't give a shit anymore. I just want to write about monsters and movies and have a good time. Because a lot of my favorite stuff is like really stupid.
Right. I mean, mine is. I know that. Couple more before we jet Piston out of here. See what I did there. If you could book your own music festival, give me three bands you would want to have as your top 3 headliners.
Damn.
The Damned, Alien Sex Fiend, and Bad Religion.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's some good ones.
That is. Like, but would they be in that order?
No.
Go from.
It's hard to go because Bad Religion, is awesome, but I'd probably have them open for that because, and as much as I fucking love the Damned, I've seen them multiple times. They're great. I think I'd close the evening with Alien Sex Fiend because it's going to be a flaming train wreck and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
so great live. The band is really tight, but the singer is just such a drunkard, and he can keep performing despite the fact that he can barely stand. Because we saw him. He actually, at one point, he couldn't stand. And he was still singing and hitting all the cues.
And that's another thing that's really great about him as a performer. Is the Kraken... I always see him at a show with a drink in his hand, but he's not trashed, like fall down, slur speech, nothing.
Right.
He is very much coherent. He knows his limit, it seems like. And he doesn't really lay it on before playing, which I think is great.
I like gin before a set for my throat, but most of my alcohol I burn off with my anxiety. So
right.
all my performances are fueled by stage fright. So
I get that. Yeah. Yeah.
All mine are fueled by his stage fright. I'm like, what is he gonna do?
You're like poking him with the pitchfork, are you?
I don't do the horrifying things I used to do. I haven't assaulted anybody in a long time.
It's been a long time.
You haven't.
And then I blew up my fucking knee. I blew up the MCL and had to get that cane. And now the cane has a better fan base than I do, so I have to bring the cane to every show.
Yeah,
it's like
tell
I did
everybody.
Sunglasses one night and didn't wear the eye patch, and people like bitched at me like, "Where's the eye patch?" I'm like, the eye patch is more popular than I am. Now the eye patch and the cane are more popular than I am. So I feel like I ought to be in like Dr. Hook, I feel like Ray Sawyer. I need to give me a cowboy hat.
That's the thing. You need to. I need to really do that, and I'm going to add the page and make it for Kane Kraken. Kane Kraken needs to pay. Here's the thing. Maybe just fuck with people because you had the regular black eye patch for so long, and then you had the kind of red bedazzled.
I got a red bedazzled one. I got an orange bedazzled one. I got a diamond heart shaped one that I was wearing to the goth nights.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe just fuck with people, and I know you can't see out of that eye, but fuck it, just fucked with somebody and just switch eyes. Then you can't read the lyrics.
I can see a little tiny bit out of this eye, and when it's dark, I can see a lot more. But it makes me dizzy to use this eye.
Right.
Because I've been using this eye.
Interesting.
It's funny because I have amblyopia, so this eye has always been lazy.
Right.
And in the past, I would just patch my left eye. My right eye would do all the work, and the muscles get strong. From like the time I was a child, every now and then, every couple of years, I just patch up, and the eye would get strong again. But I can't patch my left eye now because I'm about 3/4 blind of the right eye.
Right.
There's like a little pinhole there. Everything else is either black or looks like wax paper. And when it's dark, my vision gets much better.
Right.
Because I remember I was like on Facebook. I was online when I went blind on the side. I'm like typing to people, "Hey, going blind," and nobody was responding. I'm like, "Going blind here! Oh my God, it's all purple and black," and no one's responding. I'm like, "Fine, fuck you all."
Holy shit, that's insane. So, have you all worked out the set for what you're going to do tonight?
I think that we've only changed 1 or 2 songs from the last set.
I've got thoughts on it, but
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I think I want to go back to our traditional opener because it works really well. But I mean, we opened last show. We opened with Alchemist, which is really fun and it's a good opener. But we also tend to open with Big Scary because for one thing, we can't fuck that song up. I mean, we would have to like be on heroin to fuck that song up.
We used to open up a lot with No Tomorrow.
No Tomorrow was a great one to open with because they've been playing that forever. It's hard to fuck up.
Yeah.
But there's some songs I'd like to slip some other ones out because we haven't really come up with a cassette list yet.
It's I don't know. We'll think of something.
Right.
It's a bunch of fun stuff, and we have shit we haven't played for people. And
I think
the release schedule is way down the hallway, but I'd like to play some of them. I'd really like to play the Girl at the End of the Lane.
Yeah,
which is way off as far as release. Midnight Mass would be fun, but it's kind of slow.
I think we'll probably add another one from Hand of Glory.
Metal Forge.
Yeah.
Oh, Avalon. We can put. I want to do Avalon. Like maybe yank out.
That other song.
Yeah. And then put in Avalon. That's one that Jet wrote. Because I've been writing. Since I joined, I've been writing almost all the lyrics. And then, aside from like Childhood's End, which he like threw a verse at me and said, "Hey, run with this."
Yeah.
And thematically, I think I might have gone in a different direction than he was aiming at. But his lyrics and my lyrics worked really well on that one.
Yeah,
right.
I love that song.
Hell yeah.
So it's like his lyrics were a little bit ethereal. You could go a different direction, and I turned it into something a little bit creepier.
Yeah, good job done.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's what it's about. So, yeah, we're hitting about 2:16 right now.
Outstanding. Let's keep going. Yeah. I could do this all night.
Well, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, he's an old man.
I'm an old man. I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
Leave me here.
I wouldn't let you walk home. I'd take you home.
Talking is a thing I can do.
I mean, I'd take you into the next room. No.
Talking, drinking, these are things I can do all night. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, links are listed below, so please give a like, a share, and a follow. Go do that thing. Go buy merch. Go buy albums. Go see these guys live because they were playing at the Mag Bar tonight for a Metal Forge Live showcase. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Well, if you like music, then go see live music. Because that's how music keeps getting made, is if you go see live music.
Very fucking much.
I want to give a shout-out to Kenny Beckham and Sean Flannery, our drummer and our bassist, who couldn't be here for this interview because they fucking suck.
They had a date, and
they're together right now.
Really?
Throes of passion.
I mean, like...
They're doing it.
You know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say this. I can only imagine. I got a mental picture of those two together right now. And I swear it would be like a fucking lion mauling a puppy. I swear to God, that's exactly what it would be. Fucking, because Kenny is, Kenny has acromegaly.
Kenny's a stout fellow.
Shit. Like, I think he, Hulk Hogan is a pussy because he body slammed Andre the Giant and not Kenny Beckham. And yes. And Sean is so diminutive. He's not short.
He's not short, but he's
like 6'2".
He's slight.
He's slight.
But but a mic stand is wider than Sean. Like, and as he's gotten older, he's even gotten thinner.
Yeah.
Like, as he runs a lot more. But yeah, it'd be like a fucking a lion mauling a puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. It'd be like... It's like the fight scene with fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bruce Lee.
with them 9-foot legs.
When he sits there and he kicks him, and he's got the big fucking
Big footprint on his chest.
And it goes from his fucking neck to his waist. Yeah. That's exactly what it would be. Any other...
if I was going to do a shout-out, it's going to be to the people in Louisville. And Louisville has always had a lot of great bands and a lot of venues and a lot of people. Because I've been to other towns where everybody goes to see live music, and it sucks, Cincinnati. But the people go to the shows. A lot of bad bands in Cincinnati, but people go to shows. Louisville, not a lot of people. So my shout-out is for the people who consistently go to fucking see live music.
Fuck yeah.
And most especially Mr. Bob Markwell.
Oh, fuck yes.
Who was like, way back in the day, it's Crown of Thorns, he was there. Everything we've done, he's been there. Bob Markwell will show up for your live music.
Yes, he does.
He's a fan. He's a supportive guy. If you need him to carry some cabinets out to the street, he would.
Yep.
He's a Louisville man. And if a thing is happening in Louisville, he's going to be there for it.
Yeah.
He might be late.
Yeah,
but he will be there. He will be there. Another person who I've noticed is always there is Darren.
Yeah.
Darren is always there. He's always out at Metal Monday every single Monday.
Nice.
And big shout out to Bill Wise. Bill Wise comes out to almost every metal show.
Cool.
So, hell yeah.
I would shout out to Lisa Fry just because.
Oh, because she is fucking amazing.
Lisa Fry is like you, except pretty. Does all the working thing and promotes the city and the artists and the musicians and performers, just constantly pushing people to the front.
Constantly promoting and producing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And making sure that spotlight is on people who would, deserve a spotlight.
Yeah.
People who work hard to get other people's work out there, like yourself.
Well, I try, and I guess in my life I've done things as a joke, and it ends up backfiring and being something that I've been doing. So the three most prominent things that I can give an example to is when I just turned 18. I was held back a year, so I graduated when I was 19, right? Then, because my birthday is obviously in April. So I ended up taking summer school to graduate in December of the next year, rather than, going the full fucking year.
Right.
And myself and a friend, we ended up, it was the last day of the summer school English course. And I was like, fuck it, dude. You want to go to the strip club? and it's fucking in the middle of the day. It's fucking noon. And they just opened. And it's like, yeah, fuck it. We've never seen the day dancers before. Let's go. Right?
And they work hard.
And they do. They do work hard, because there's not a lot of people who come in during the day.
Yeah.
And, except for fucking 2 fucking 18-year-old fucking seniors in high school, right?
Or me driving up north to go camping.
Yes. Right.
I think I'll stop at the strip joint and have a beer and look at some boobs.
Yes, see? Exactly. And the funny thing about it I was like, dude, we should get applications as a joke. And we fucking got them. And we went back. That was the thing. Because at Deja Vu, you get the stamp, and as long as it was 20 within the same shift, you could come back and wouldn't have to pay the cover to get back in, the $13.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, fuck.
I dated a girl that worked there. It was great.
Yeah, and I knew plenty of them that worked there. And the thing about it was like, so we went back and got the applications that night, and then took them back that Saturday at right when the second shift, the night shift was starting, right at 6 o'clock or some shit. And no shit, hey, hang on a second. And the fucking manager came down and goes, can you start tonight? and we're just like, holy fuck. It's like, well, we gotta go change and shit first, and go home and fucking whatnot, and
Yeah.
And so we did, and we started that night, and that was it. And we did it as a joke. The next time was fucking when Overload played in Hollywood. I fucking
God.
sent an email to the fucking people at the Whiskey and saying, hey, we're going to do this. We're putting out a second album. We're going to go on fucking tour and be King fucking Dick. What dates do you have open? And I fucking got an email back saying, what date would you like? I was like, holy shit, this became fucking...
At the Whiskey?
Yeah, at the Whiskey. And it blew me the fuck away.
Yeah!
Because I got the email back at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time. And they're 3 hours behind us, which means that she was checking her email at 6:30 in the fucking morning and thought that she needed to reply to me at 6:30 in the fucking morning her time. So yeah. And then the other one was this. I sent a fucking email to Kathy at WCHQ,
radio station,
and it was like, no fucking way they're gonna say yes to having me do this. And they're like, hey, can you come in for an interview? And I was like, yeah, okay. That became fucking real all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then it's live, and then you're just like, oh shit, oh shit, because live, it's not like playing live.
Oh, no.
No, it's like, I like to play. That's how you get,
Yeah, I can engage a crowd that's looking at me, often more than I should, but when it's just a microphone looking at me, it's like,
Like right now?
yeah. But I've just been looking at you the whole time.
Nice.
Because you're pretty. But,
oh, thank you. I actually still have some relics from the studio here.
Oh, yeah.
I got the please get within 2 inches of the microphone tag. But yeah, so awesome. Final question of the day
All right.
is, what do you believe happens after we die?
I believe that the bacteria that live in your body begin to consume it and produce a lot of gas and eventually split open. And that happens after you die.
I believe that one of two things happens. One of them being what he just described, where you decompose and things. Essentially, you die, and it's like someone flipping an off switch, and your consciousness is gone. The other thing I believe is that the more you work on your consciousness, the more time you put into strengthening your mind, the more likely you are to die and leave behind some concentrated intelligent energy that might hook up with some other concentrated intelligent energy from other people who died, which would explain why people who talk about having past life memories from a bunch of different people, why it would work. So either the quantum energy that is in you can be awakened through concentration and meditation and other exercises, or else we just die and fall into a pile of mush. And the great thing is, if you die and fall into a pile of mush, you're never going to know.
Right.
But I don't believe in any horseshit about heavens and hells and all that. My idea of a heaven would be if the energy within yourself that you have awakened could remain conscious when returned to the source of all things, which was just like in the quantum energy field of the universe. So the idea of being able to stay conscious, it doesn't matter. I know that whatever is in me is going to get used by other things, even the energy that that fuels me. It might just wind up in the sun again. It might wind up in some worms or some plants or some crickets. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to tell you about it. Apparently, whatever it is, it's either we don't do anything or we do a thing and we can't talk about it, because how many people do you know who you thought had a really forceful personality and they have not come back to say, hey, this is what happened?
Right.
Yep. There's a barrier that we cannot consciously pass.
Right. And
at least not and report back on it.
Which is interesting about, like with mediums and such.
Mm-hmm.
And, the attuned, as they are called.
I have been accused of being a medium, but, it could all be complete bullshit because I'm crazy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Awesome.
The thing is, I've said that religion is not. People say that religion is based on our fear of death, so we need to believe that something happens afterwards. That is not true. Religion and our need to believe in something else happening is not based on I can't die and stop existing. It's when someone you love dies. Mm-hmm. You can't imagine they've stopped existing because you have to believe somewhere inside you that someday you're going to see them again. And that's essentially what every religion's funerary rites are about. You're going to see this person again. Because that's what really matters. Not what happens to me. What happens to the people I loved. Will I see them again?
Right.
That's where religion comes from.
This has been Rifle.
This has been Rifle.
This has been Rifle and Vodka.
Rifle and vodka, and yeah. And, a White Russian.
Which is vodka.
Yes.
And also hydrocodone, but
Oh, whoa. So...
I got broken parts.
So, what are we going to play out today?
Did you have an idea earlier?
Yeah. I can?
What was it? I don't remember. I haven't been paying attention.
It's a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet. Oh. It's a crucible. You're all fucked up, but you're beautiful.
Which is what?
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Oh, shit. This is from Rifle. This isn't even out until now. This is Baba Yaga.
Whenever they get hurt,
2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.